Found it on 7th Avenue. Dope.
Here, you can keep this. I can hold the mic. Keep me warm. Keep my mouth warm.
I'll keep your mouth warm for you, big boy.
You weedy.
Wow. You left it wide open there, bub. Yeah.
Remind me to keep my mouth shut.
Placing bets right now.
Tell you, yo, what did you do last night? A lot of crazy stuff happened last night.
Very busy.
Department of Pension Fund?
Department of Pensions? Somewhere across the street, I think. I don't know.
You know who might know, though?
The people in that building,
Sir,
they'll probably know.
If you walk right up here in between those doors, there are some state troopers that would definitely know where that is.
That's the entrance to the State House. Actually, this guy knows here. There you go. People helping people.
He's great. You're free INE t-shirts.
Oh, yes. No, don't say that. No free INE.
No. We got t-shirts, $20.
It's America. America. Don't shoot, get stoned. Don't shoot, I'm a veteran. What else you got? That's all you need.
Don't shoot, I'm running away.
There you go. Don't shoot, I'm running away. Oh, yes. A lot of crazy stuff happened yesterday.
You know where I was yesterday? I was in Katona, New York.
Oh,
Where's that?
I was hoping you'd be in
That's the
Asbury.
same place where George Soros had that bomb delivered the other day.
Let me see your
You were
hand.
just there, huh?
Got any white fucking
I
powder on your
had some
hands?
work to do.
Some pipe work?
I am a pipe fitter by trade.
That's pretty much what
Not
they
smoker, fitter.
So where's the sun? What's that due to come out?
It's over there, over that building.
I know his birthday's on the 25th.
Blocked.
Well, the unofficial one anyway. The sun.
Whose birthday?
The sun.
Oh.
That sun. But I know you Jewish guys don't know about that stuff, right?
Oy vey, wach.
Ah, l'chaim.
Bless you.
I could just bestell. Kaplatz.
Oh, is that flowers in the background? Pretty.
Pretty.
All right, lefties, everything ready to go?
There's a new sign behind Rich. It says New Jersey State House Annex. You can't really see it on the camera, but you can see it there.
New Jersey Annex. What are they annexing now? Our rights again? I think there's a great big building dedicated to doing that just behind us, really.
All right, we're ready to go. Live from Trenton. We got a big show for you today. A lot of stuff went on. Palisades Park, North Plainfield.
I told you should have brought kimchi.
Jersey City, Asbury Park,
A lot of stuff, a lot of towns.
Arlington.
Coming up in about 5 minutes.
Stop!
Bring in the boss one, I'm gonna get mine. Go do the crime, if you can't do the time, don't tell me how you're off and down. When you smile in my face, but you play me like a clown, it's your fool bitch. So just step back, I'm mad that when I come down straight. I thought you were my piece, but you play me out. Now I'm mad as hell, and I'm full of doubt. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Let's think. Let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Let's think. Let's roll! I'm back on the scene, it's time to get mean. I'm a lean revolution machine. For what people stay, they sway. For today is good as any day. Y'all feel slightly this, let's resist. Raise your fist and pump like this. Promises all the time. Don't cross the line, but you know it's mine. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Let's think. Let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Let's think. Let's roll.
Good morning, William Haney.
Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Let's see. Let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Let's see. Let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? 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 W
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Ignorance is. What are you doing to me here? What sounds so weird in my head?
There's no excuse
There
for
it is. Anyway,
Do over?
Pure
Yeah,
puff, puff,
yeah.
puff, puff. Sorry.
Can't do the echo anyway. You ready? Live from New Jersey State House in Trenton, the Ignorance is No Excuse tour brings to you the Thursday Pop-Up Podcast, starring the one and only Lefty Grimes. Hello, Lefty Grimes. And his henchman, side henchman. I got to come up with something. I don't know. What are we?
Minions.
And
We're
his
minions,
and
Wayne.
his minions.
Funny.
We have Rich, CK, and representing Pure Puff Vapor Supply, Eric in the hizzy. And as usual, what do you do? Now, bro, don't even. I'll put it right to my mouth. That's cool.
Okay, all you
There we
folks
go
out in
again.
listener land, we're sitting in the shade, and I'll tell you what, we're making ice cubes right now.
Yeah, we
It's
are.
cold. We're out here taking it on the, well, Wayne's taking it on the chin. The rest of us are out here, you know.
Right on the chin.
Right, yeah.
It's a floppy though, bro.
It's pressed tightly.
Is it gonna work?
It's a floppy,
All
bro.
right, let's see next.
Get it up. Oh, look. Ah,
They make pills for that.
yeah. I hear you can get them on the internet.
All right. I give up. I give up.
Your mic got no libido.
Oh my God.
Oh boy, you need some Viagra over here. Wow, what a busy week! What a busy week this week. Crazy.
Where do we start?
Oh man, where you want to talk? You want to talk about the INE tour?
Which one?
Oh boy, we were at Palisades Park. We were at North Plainfield. Where else did you go? Where else did you go?
Jamesburg. Jamesburg.
Jamesburg.
Jamesburg.
That was a mess.
Oh man. And on top of that, all these towns, I love it. All the towns in New Jersey are trying to ban medical and recreational dispensaries.
For what reason?
They're trying to be proactive, you know, because you don't want little Johnny and little Susie getting that little gateway drug while they're in school.
But do the current
But they do
dispensaries
get
have
the
issues?
gateway drug. Every time they have a little sip of wine, that's a gateway
But
drug.
wait. The current dispensaries that are open right now, is that an issue?
The whopping 6 of them for the 34,000 people in the those,
Regardless of how many, has there been an issue at any of the dispensaries?
There has been one.
Two. Yeah.
I'm thinking about the robbery in.
I'm thinking about
And
the
Egg
contaminants
Harbor.
that were found in products.
No. I'm
No.
just. Besides the robbery,
Crime.
which I think was an inside job.
Sure.
Okay. As
And-
far as children go, no, there have been no issues whatsoever as far as children and what do we call them? Alternative treatment centers here in New Jersey. There has been no issues, no.
I don't see how there could be any issues.
Well,
You need 2 forms of ID to
It's
get
really
in.
easy. Well, come on, little 6-year-old Susie has freaking 2 forms of ID.
Right.
She's got a little Barbie doll ID, and she's got a little library card.
And the Mickey Mouse Club card member.
Right.
Yeah.
As long as she's got little Susie has 2 forms of ID. And maybe a debit card. Does that count? Even though there's no picture or name on there.
No.
Well, as long as she can pay, I'm sure they would accept that.
There
Well,
you
you know, it is really about the money. It's not about medicine, right? We all
That's
know
true.
that.
It's all about the money. Yo, I thought I
Moolah
saw,
la. That's why we don't have a decision. That's why we're here. Hashtag still waiting. Because they're trying to figure out how to adequately divvy up the blood money. These guys that are setting up these ATCs are sipping water out of the sewer. They're sipping water out of the sewer. They're taking dying people's money and extorting them to get better. Shame on you. INE. We got you, man. We're coming to your town.
And that's one to grow on.
Palisades Park is next. I can't wait to get back there.
Oh, don't get me
telling you.
started.
You need to bring kimchi with you. You'll
Oh,
I'm
stop
telling you. Wayne,
I don't know who the hell she is.
What's with the kimchi?
I don't know.
Well-
Kimchi, whoever you are.
apparently.
No, this is I don't.
Are we
it's a
talking about a
family
food
show.
or a person?
Oh, we're talking about food.
Huh?
Kimchi.
What? I don't.
Oh, I was gonna ask her to call in.
I'm a Trump guy, so I don't understand what this kimchi shit is. What is it?
It is
not a
fermented cabbage, and it is a delicacy in certain parts of the world.
Yeah, don't they
Ooh, is
bury
that
that
what
in the
we
ground?
had?
Yeah, they bury it in the
Oh,
ground.
yeah,
and
I
they,
think we did have that. They
Oh.
buried it. Oh, they buried it.
That shit
they
was
bury it in the
terrible.
ground, and I don't know. I'm making that up, really, but they do something to it, and they make it into this kimchi stuff, and it's quite delectable. I guess if you really like that
didn't
kind
like
of stuff,
If you're into kimchi.
yeah. But she
Is-
doesn't date a lot, so I don't know who would be into kimchi.
Well, I didn't like how kimchi tasted. Not a fan. I'm not going back for a second.
Fishy, fishy or salty or
It was spicy. It was like
Ooh,
a weird.
spicy.
It was a weird vegetable-y with it was like boiled freaking cabbage with spice, with hot spice. I didn't like it. We had dinner. We had dinner in Korea. Is
You
that
did?
called Little Korea? Palpar?
No, it's just called Palisades Park, right?
Alpar.
It's not called Little Korea or
Palpar.
Koreatown.
It's beautiful. It's actually beautiful. Unless you're in a wheelchair.
I don't know. If
Why?
you're-
What happens if you're in a wheelchair there?
You're locked out. of
No
the town.
kimchi for you.
No kimchi. No nothing. You can't do nothing in that town. Not even
Kimchi?
Verizon has a steps.
That's not true.
Verizon.
That's not
We
true.
gotta get a
Verizon.
bunch of patients to dress up like handmaids, wearing those red things in the habits, and stand in front of places and go, shame, shame. I hope you find another place that sells wheelchairs without a ramp. That was the most. I mean, I thought it was something out of a
Oh,
movie.
the irony.
How the hell does that happen?
Didn't you go into like a pharmacy that had like 3 big stairs? It's like, hey, you got a ramp? Like, I'm like looking, I'm like, dude, it'd be like a freaking 20-foot ramp. Ain't no one getting up
That
there.
was Verizon.
That was Verizon?
Yeah.
Oh, he was cool though. He
He
was
was
very
nice.
helpful.
Yeah, he said, go down the street.
Go down the street.
Yeah.
Here, I'll fix your
Thanks.
phone. Throw it in here.
Thanks a lot.
Throw it up the stairs. I'll fix your phone, cripple guy. Right.
I can't do this. I can't do it.
Wayne
I-
can't do it.
I can't. There's
Well, let's talk about cannabis and ramps. We should make hemp ramps.
Hemp ramps. Biodegradable.
Biodegradable. They're good for 5 years. We have recurring customers. We're not leaving a carbon footprint.
that's the problem though. If you make hemp hempcrete, them shits last forever.
Well, bugs hate it. I'm down. Doesn't really like to burn so good. I'm kind of down with that
That's what
too.
I'm saying. It's like you can't say, well, why not? We could be salesmen and lie. Yes, after 5 years, it totally disintegrates, and you're gonna need another one.
Yeah.
Okay, even though it won't.
Well, I mean, we
It'll
can-
last you
you-
10
you
You're
can't
civilizations.
produce
gonna come
products
back
that we
every
like,
day and hit it with a sledge.
Archaeologists are going to be finding this ramp someday. Come on, man. They're not even going to find the aluminum ones. Cut me a break. They'll be like, what did these ancients do with these planks of this mysterious amalgam? I bet you they beat each other to death with music or something, smoking that jazz
It was-
cabbage.
It was strapped to afford their meds.
Ah, yes, they had to strap that on their back in order to pick up their prescriptions. Come on, I'm going off the rails. Someone save me. I'm gonna start talking
You're
about
doing-
really
you're-
weirder stuff.
You're doing
than
a pretty
this.
good job by yourself.
I think you're doing great.
Sorry, I'm too high. Are we talking?
Are we talking? Are we talking over here? Come on, Wayne.
So,
tell us.
cannabis. Tell us about what
Tell
happened
us.
this week.
Okay, yeah.
So we were on Palisades Park.
Oh,
We were
there's a
talking-
segment we should have.
We
It's
were
just-
talking talking about. Let's stick with the subject. We're on Palisades
What
Park.
subject?
Yo, how about this?
Oh, here
How
we go.
about
I'm bringing a notebook.
how about a friggin'
How
town
about a new
council
subject?
meeting? Okay, a
Wow.
town council meeting that
The
starts at
INE
6:30.
ADD tour.
Whoa.
Now, yeah, can
Hold
we
on,
explain
okay.
that?
Yeah.
It starts at 6:30. 6:30.
In Palpar.
All right. And
Palpar means what?
Palpar is what the cool
Palisades
people
Park.
in the Palisades Park. They call
Okay.
it. It's like, yo, hey, we're Palpar. So now Palpar is a weird friggin' town.
It's beautiful.
Well, sure, we
I'm
were
not
on
sure
the
I know
Korean
that.
side. Okay, we were on the Korean side. We were in Little Korea in Palpar, and apparently the other half is Italian. Now, the big news about Palpar is they made news in a recent town council meeting because the mayor pretty much had some derogatory no. The mayor's mother, I'm sorry. The mayor's mother had some derogatory things, and she's Italian, to say about the other side of town,
Oh boy.
which was Korean. It wasn't
Oh,
me,
boy.
Lefty. That wasn't me. But anyway, so yeah, they had arguments, and yeah, there's police have been, it's got ugly there.
There's
But
been some
anyway,
bad
You want to hear what
blood.
happened here? Lorraine Rotundo, the mother of James Rotundo.
What's her name again?
Lorraine Rotundo, the mother of James Rotundo, alleges illegal voting being done by Koreans who make up more than 50% of the borough's population. She wrote in a Facebook post about Koreans arrived to vote by the busloads.
Go to hell, Palisades Park!
make sure you quote. So you got to say quote.
This is Lorraine's quote.
This way they know you're not saying
Go
this.
to hell!
Yeah, I think that might be an
Palisades
important
Park.
aspect.
Let the goddamn Koreans have this fucking town!
Rotundo commented in a Facebook post.
All of us Americans are so done! I am going to suggest that only English be spoken in our borough hall, at least while an American is still the mayor!
Hold on. Whoa. Oh, I kind of agree with that.
No, you don't.
Hold on.
That's
I don't.
no. That's racist and shocking. You
Hold
can't-
on a
you can't-
second.
You can't agree with that.
Oh, hold
That's
on a second.
xenophobic.
Can I talk?
You can't.
Can I
No,
talk?
No, that sounds
Okay.
horrible.
When we went to the freaking meeting, okay, we went into the room at 7:00. The only people that were talking was a group of Koreans. Oh, wait, 3 or 4 of them, and they were all speaking Korean. And Lefty and I are asking,
Well, maybe they were really Asians, man.
no, they were Korean.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because one of them was Chris Chung. We ended up finding out. Okay, so all I'm saying is, here we are in a town, in an American town council meeting, where Lefty and I are in the room, and we're trying to
The
say,
rotunda. You were in what? The
no,
rotunda?
that's
Oh,
the
all right.
mayor.
Oh, sorry.
We weren't into the mayor, but anyway, we were
Not yet.
in the room, and we're asking, where's the meeting? Where's the meeting? Hello, excuse us, is there a meeting? And those guys didn't say shit except they were talking in Korean. And then we ended up finding out that one of the dudes was Chris Chung. So yeah, I
And
kind of
Chris
have a
Chung
problem.
is-
Who's
I
Chris
kind of
Chung?
agree with that lady said.
Who's Chris Chung?
He's a councilman running for mayor.
Because if he was speaking English, he would have heard us say, hey, where's the town council
Well,
meeting?
It sounds like he just chose to ignore you.
Well, there you go.
Even when I confronted him.
And then he didn't ignore you. He did it in a nice way. Yes, sure, right. Yeah,
I choose not to give my opinion about these things.
exactly.
Oh,
Sure.
political sidestepping. I gotta love that from our representatives. You're not our leader, you pinhead.
Here's James Rotundo's response. Yesterday, my 80-year-old mother, who I love dearly, put up a very inappropriate Facebook message that she sincerely regrets. She has apologized and retracted her statement. I have never heard my mom talk like this before.
In public.
And I believe her.
Wow. Damn.
I
Slipped out like a fart. I'm
I
sorry.
believe her. And she says she's mortified, and she does not mean these hurtful things.
She likes Mordecai.
I want to make it clear to everyone, I do not agree. Thank you, Mayor Rotundo.
I kind of agree. If you could please speak a language, because this town council meeting, we got there at 7:00 on the dot.
Yeah, it's the shortest council meeting.
We got there
ever.
at 7:00 on the dot.
They were done. Out the door. Nobody was in
No,
the
they
room.
weren't out the door.
So I
That's
guess
not
they
true.
didn't say the Pledge of
No, the
Allegiance. They
room-
didn't take roll call.
the
They
room
didn't do it a normal
There
Listen,
was,
rap.
there
They
was
do.
4 of them.
The room was empty.
There was 4. No, that's not true. There
The
was
council room was empty. There was people in the hallway.
No, there was still people in the council
Oh
room.
yeah, all right. There were a couple people in the room on
That
the
was
right.
Chris Chung.
Yes,
and he
that's
was
right.
talking to 2 other people, 2 or
Okay.
3 other people in Korean.
Right.
Okay. Holy!
Look who it is.
Hey, vacation's over, baby.
Terry, what's up, my
Vacation's
brother?
Over.
Terrence.
Vacation's over.
Be careful with the microphone, Terrence.
Uh-oh.
Be careful.
How's everybody doing today?
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
How the hell
Good
is
morning.
Terrence?
How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing great.
Long time no
Lefty
see.
needs a.
I'm with my adopted son from Africa here. And
Nice. How you doing?
Mubasu, what's up?
What's
he's CJ.
CJ. CJ. CK. What's up, my
CJ
brother?
meets CK. Where you been?
I was trying the rehabilitation thing,
Oh,
and he knows I tried to get into rehabilitation centers. I did, but that didn't go over very well.
no.
I almost got into St. Francis. Almost got me into Carrier Clinic. And then I owed some money to a few people, so I couldn't go in that day. But if I went in that day, I would have been in a rehab. I would have been. But
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
yeah, I've been just laying low, and I'm actually I contemplated this, but I'm shooting for a marijuana card.
Wow.
About time.
Yes, I'm gonna. And
I told you.
What do you say?
Come to Masasa.
Wait, come over here. Say that again into this microphone.
no, don't say that.
What did you say?
Baby mom working the stay house.
Really? Yeah. Oh,
She does.
okay.
Yes, I'm an embarrassment out here. I'm with the hippies.
So you really are his adopted son.
Yes.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
Basu.
Yeah, because you. Oh,
I
okay.
think I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
because you have. Okay, I know what's going
Yes.
on. Why don't you get us in there? Get us some help. You got some ins with these people?
Of course I do. I got
Yeah.
political connections.
You got
on all
connections. I
levels.
know. Help us out.
Oh my.
I got political connections on all levels, dude.
I want the governor out here.
Hey, I
He's gotta
was
be in
at
New
a
Jersey.
punk rock festival, and the locals were explaining that out loud. We don't keep your pipes. That was that scumbag that was holding your jacket that took your pipes.
Pipes.
So the locals are really cool, and I've been hard on them. I've been real hard on the local police.
Hard on?
Hard on?
You been hard on, please?
I've been
That's gross.
Aren't they
I've
supposed to
been
be hard
rough.
on
I've been
crime?
real rough on the local police.
Why?
But
Why?
Why are they rough on you?
Because they're here to protect and serve, man.
Yeah. Why are they hurting you? What are the police doing to you?
I'm at the War Memorial.
Show us on the
They
INE
sprayed
doll
me
where
in
the police
face.
hurt you.
They woke me up. They woke me up in the rain. I was sleeping at the police station, and they woke me up
It was raining in the
at
police
4
station?
o'clock in the morning.
Really?
No, I'm sleeping inside the police station.
Wow. Which
Okay.
one?
Okay.
Trenton?
Trenton, of course.
It's nice in there.
Of course it is. The water's the hottest in the fucking city. You can brew right off the tap, fucking coffee. But you can. But straight out, this kid's waiting for me at this other place, and I'm sleeping, fucking just catching a few winks, and they wake me up, fucking Mason me in the face.
What?
I got sprayed in the face
By Mason?
15 times with Mason.
Mason sprayed you in the face?
No, it's,
With what?
I'm immune to pepper spray. All right. But when you're waking me up, and spraying me in the fucking mouth and face, waking me up with it. You know,
Mason
I'm
always makes you
immune
that
to a
redheaded
certain
kid
extent.
with the
The
Right, man,
best
There's a reason.
part of waking up.
Wow.
There's a reason
getting
why.
Mason in your face.
If you go into the police station, you'll see all the smashed doors, all the
Mason hot
smashed
water
windows.
coffee first thing in the morning.
Because
That's
they've
what
been
happens.
smashing
That's
it
what
all
happens
over.
to police officers
Who's
that
been
like
smashing
waking
it
up with
in jail?
Mace.
Wait, go ahead.
Hey, they had to breathe the shit in too, dude. And that's why the inside of the police station's all smashed apart.
What?
You smashed it apart, man.
Hey, they don't answer the door anyway.
You cost the taxpayers
You walk
money.
in, in there, and it's
You
like
did
an
what?
absent. There's like all you got is a metal detector, and you're like looking at 2 locked doors. So these chicks are kicking the doors, spitting all over the place. Everybody walks in there and spits on the fucking thing or pisses on the door and walks
What?
away.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do, man. Nobody answers the doors, dude.
No one ever washes their hands there, man.
Oh,
Man, no
No.
hands.
Oh,
8 out of 10 fucking losers that go into the train
That'd
station
be 4 out
do
of
not
5.
wash their fucking hands. And I know they don't have hand
Listen,
sanitizer.
you have to wash-
I know they don't have hand sanitizer.
You gotta wash before you pee. Before you pee.
Exactly.
Right. You know.
You
Before
rinse your
and
hands
after.
before you touch your fucking private parts.
Yeah. Just germs on your hands.
Impetigo. It
Huh?
fucking carries, man.
Who?
What is it?
Impetigo.
I never
Wait,
heard of
what
him.
is that language?
You guys don't know what impetigo is?
That's his son.
Is that
That's
a
his
virus?
adopted son.
No, it's a skin lesion.
We
It's
just
nasty.
last week.
It's kind of like
Where'd he go?
scurvy.
Where's Impetigo?
It's kind of like scurvy.
No,
like
there
wormy,
is
kinda.
scurvy. There's all kinds of fucking shit. These
Yeah.
scumbags don't wash their hands. They go in the fucking bathroom. And I'm like, I know you don't have hand sanitizer in that fucking suit, dude. Your Kmart suit doesn't have fucking hand sanitizer.
You eat it.
You're making my fucking skin curl right now. You have no idea.
And it's like 8 out of 10.
I think
fucking
I need to
losers
go.
that use that train station.
Hey, we're talking about cannabis and stuff.
They
I don't
walk
want
right
to talk
past
about
They walk
Mason in the
right past
face
the
and all this
fucking
other
six.
stuff. Come on, man.
You know what? I'll be back.
No, don't leave.
Yeah, okay.
We want more.
No, he's gonna be a statue over there all by himself.
What's
if
he
I don't
doing?
smoke it with him.
What are you smoking?
Statute.
Synthetics.
You smoke what? No, you can't do that.
Yo.
No, don't do. No, no.
dude.
I'd rather
Don't
you
do
smoke
that.
a joint.
Go smoke a
I gotta-
joint.
Don't smoke that
Go
shit.
smoke a joint. What's wrong with you?
Here.
No,
Smoke
don't
a joint.
smoke that shit.
Come here, I'll
smoke
give you a
that
joint.
crap,
Don't
man.
do it. Don't do
Cannabis,
it.
cannabis is better
Stop
than
it.
narcotics. what the
Oh,
hell,
what
dude?
the
Crack is
fuck?
whack.
Crack is whack.
Ah, don't do that.
Why would you ever want to smoke
No.
anything that's named after someone's ass? Come on, man. I think I'll take a puff of that one, baby. She got a nice big crack.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Go
Coming
stop him.
back.
Go stop him.
Go uncrack
Oh
them.
my God, look at her.
Go punch him in the head.
No, I'm not punching nobody.
Non-violent.
I'm not talking about smoking cocaine. I'm talking about smoking Buddha bud,
What's that?
synthetic marijuana.
No.
Why would you ever want to do that
No,
kind of crap?
I'm not smoking crack.
No, it's smoke crack is better.
Look,
Actually,
Wayne
probably
is
is.
attempting
No,
the
you
harm
can't do
reduction.
that.
Yeah,
This
that's
is a
so
harm
bad for you.
reduction
No.
move.
Do that.
Reduction.
Go chill with.
Don't
What was
smoke
his name?
synthetic.
Umbasa.
Don't smoke.
Mubasa.
Please.
That's synthetic
Please.
marijuana crap.
Yeah, that's
You could
bad.
Don't
Really,
do it.
Hold
you
on.
could
No,
you could
hold on.
wind up in a mental institution.
Hello, state
again.
police. That was just tobacco. Yeah, bullshit. No, seriously, that was just a tobacco.
That was a
roll thing.
demonstration
Uh-huh.
joint.
You may have just saved
Demonstration
his
of what
life,
a real
Wayne.
cannabis cigarette may look like.
I hope. I don't want to see him dribbling and drooling.
I hope you saved his life. That's,
Well, if we see him running by with just his left sneaker on, we know what
if he's
happened.
naked running by here, we know he failed.
Wasn't there a thing where like 80 people OD'd in a park?
Yeah,
on that
it
shit,
happened-
like, not too long ago.
Yeah, it happened
Jamestown.
over the summertime, if I'm not mistaken.
Like 80 people.
Yeah, like,
Wow.
and they tracked it down to one smoke shop. And they're like, "Do you guys have this?" And they're like, "No." And of course, they found like 500,000 packets of it. People were falling out all up and down the street.
So wait,
Wow.
they sell it here in Trenton? They sell it.
They sell shit everywhere.
I
bro.
thought it's
so.
illegal to sell that shit.
They sell
Because
that
they keep
crap.
changing the
Oh, they changed
compounds.
They keep
Oh.
changing the compound. That's right.
So they're
yeah.
like research chemicals.
That's
You can get
right.
them from China.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Very
Research
cheaply,
chemicals.
actually.
You don't sell any of that shit at your store.
No,
Why?
I don't sell
Don't
kratom.
you-
I don't
don't you
sell.
wanna make
You don't sell
Money off
kratom
stuff
either.
like
No.
Wait, why?
I got to give you.
Why don't you sell kratom? I don't know. I don't know much about it.
I've taken kratom to stop
Really?
withdrawals,
Mhm.
and it can be just as abusable as opiates. I think.
Really?
You think?
Okay.
I think it does good for some people, but I think people think that it's just a natural herb and they could just keep on taking it, and then they're just replacing one for another, and it's just as hard to get off of that. From what I
Yeah,
understand.
switching seats on the Titanic. I got
So
you.
it's. I mean, I think there's a place for it for certain people in certain situations, but it's not. There's no place in it for my store.
Can you overdose from kratom?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know enough about it.
Well, here. This is what I know about kratom. Okay, can I tell you my personal experience? That I've never used it. I go into a head shop. Okay. And
You
I
mean a
check out.
smoking accessory store?
I call it a. Well, yeah, it depends. Some places won't let you call it that. Because anyway, when I go in there and I check out all the different glass pieces and stuff they have, all the papers and yada yada yada, it's amazing how like you'll see all. They look like heroin heads. They look like crackheads. They come like, give me two kratom, and then like they leave.
It's
the store.
addictive. It's addictive.
I mean, sure, they might not be doing heroin, but it still looks like a dope fiend. So, hey, if it helps you and you don't kill yourself, God bless you.
Right. I think there's
But try
a
other
misunderstanding
ways.
about it being a natural product and its safety, and it becomes abusable.
It's scary.
Well, I'm just glad I didn't have to experience that. Jeez, I'm surprised. I'm shocked I didn't. Just saying.
Well, you got marijuana.
I got cannabis.
Exactly.
I don't say marijuana. That is a racially biased term. They used that to scare white people back in the day. So I'll call it cannabis.
Doesn't sound scary to me.
Oh my gosh! If you were 90, you'd be quaking in your little granny boots, man. Oh my God! That marijuana, those Spanish people. Oi,
No, you got to say marijuana.
marijuana.
But yeah, I don't like saying I prefer cannabis, cannabis king.
Herb.
But
It's called
you
herb.
know,
Herb, weed,
Yeah, like
sometimes you know,
lefty,
bud.
testicle. Yeah.
ganja.
So we were talking about all this cool like cannabis stuff that happened this week, and we got derailed by
Sidetracked
our friend.
Terrence. That's okay. At least
He's
gonna
getting
calm down.
sidetracked here for a while.
What were we talking? We were talking about
We were talking about
Palisades Park.
we were talking about
half-hour long town council meeting.
And what did they do during that half an hour, fellas?
Well, the first 15 minutes was in English, and then the second
no,
15.
no, don't say that.
That's not true.
You know, Lefty, I'm let's stop.
We don't
bullshitting.
know. We weren't there.
How do you know? You told me you weren't
We
there. Come on,
were
man.
in the room as Chris Chung was talking to a group of people.
I don't care how Chris is hung.
All right.
Sorry, that's okay.
And what language
Not
were
really.
they speaking, Lefty? And be honest.
Yeah, but was he
Pig
conducting?
Latin.
Yeah, but
I don't know. I don't know.
Was
if
he
it-
conducting like where
I have
they?
no idea.
You know what I mean?
No idea.
Or
All
was
I
he
know
just?
is
Or was he just
Well,
speaking with his
all I know is
constituents?
it was
Do you
7
do you
o'clock.
guys have any idea what they did during the course of this 36-minute long, whatever
No,
the hell,
30.
30
was-
okay, 28-minute long council meeting where they're representing the good folks up Palisades Park, and
Couldn't tell you.
really
Couldn't tell you.
they
We
must
got
have voted
there.
themselves a raise or something real quick
tell you.
before everyone else shows up. All in favor?
Couldn't tell you. All I know is the guy we spoke to, his face was on posters all over the side of town that we were at. I don't know if he was running.
Did you
for
see him on
mayor.
the other side of town?
We didn't get to the other side.
Oh,
I wanted to go see the cliffs, but this guy, had to eat this. We went to a restaurant where it wasn't even in English. All they had was pictures, and I didn't know what the pictures were. Right or wrong?
Yeah.
Oh, Jay, did anyone read Jay Lasseter's article?
Oh my God. Well, hold on. Let's talk about that later.
Man, I thought,
Let's read it.
boy, he had a couple of in-your-face kind of questions for that health guy.
Now that health guy, I think he was. I don't think he was in your face.
Well, I mean,
because
pointed.
I think it was
I
a
should
very
say pointed.
friendly.
Yeah, definitely. There was.
That dude, the health commissioner, is a very sympathetic towards
Yes.
our cause,
I'm very impressed.
medical marijuana. And I mean, yeah,
At least
sure.
someone's listening. Thank you,
Well,
Mr. Health Commissioner.
let's hope. Come on.
Hashtag still waiting.
Exactly. Thank you.
Hashtag still waiting.
I'm waiting for the trickle down effect.
Trickle down effect.
Yeah, well, he's. the
Didn't you
health
learn
commissioner.
that? That don't work. That doesn't work with cannabis. It doesn't work with government.
It's got to work with the education.
It works
Just-
with just a 1% of the population, I think. That trickle thing.
You understand what I'm saying? We got all doctors, not just the head doctor in New Jersey. All the doctors in New Jersey should be thinking as medicine as cannabis. Not just the Department of Health in New Jersey.
Well, it's going to take
Nothing's
more
getting
time.
done.
It took us 80
need
years
it.
to
It's
get
still
this way.
it's still too polarized
We need
for a
it.
lot of people.
It's taken 80 years for us to get this way. It's going to take a little bit of time to unget this way. Like I've been saying forever, cannabis is normal. The more we treat it abnormally, the more it will
Once
remain
something
abnormal.
happens on a federal level,
they'll have note that all of
then-
their arguments will be gone.
yes.
Every one of them. Hey, there's joggers. We love joggers. Come on by on your round trip. Want a sandwich? Come on. They're really good.
Oh yeah.
From Barini's.
They're from. You want a Barini?
And nobody beats Barini's me.
Except for Barini.
You don't even have
Repeatedly.
that in.
Wow.
Lefty, you.
So we've been like broadcasting it into nothingness.
No,
huh?
no. That's for the phone.
That's for the
calls.
phone.
Sorry.
What?
Sorry, Lefty.
What I miss?
Nothing.
I'm
Everything.
trying to fix something.
Hey, man. Want to
just-
feel something swell?
Listen, the show's just going to go on without you. Don't worry.
trying to fix stuff here, guys. Come on.
Trying to fix stuff. Yeah,
Here.
that's what you want to call it.
You need a person.
My zipper needs to be fixed. I'm sort of like a Tyrannosaurus Rex. I can't reach
I
it.
am a troubleshooter.
I'm a shooter.
Look, man, no
All right,
hands.
put that mic down. I'm shutting you down.
How can
Wow.
you fucking shut him down?
Banned.
You're banned. You're banned for 5 minutes.
I feel like I'm in a penalty box.
You are.
Hockey game.
Shut your mouth.
In the sin bin.
I'm gonna go over here and pout.
Go in the corner.
Right next to you.
Here, just take this mic. Oh boy!
Oh,
All right, so we
God.
should try to pull that.
What
up.
happens when you misbehave on the INE tour?
So what else did we do? We went to Palisades Park.
Went to
got
North
the blow
Plain.
off.
Well, we'll be back.
Yeah.
I should play some of that clip, but it's just stupid.
No, all you got to play is here. Here, we can reenact it. Go ahead. Ask him the questions.
Did you vote yes or no on the medical cannabis ban, sir? Sir, yes or no? Mr. Chung, did you vote yes or no to victimize children with cancer?
Sure. Right,
I would
right.
prefer not to answer.
Sure.
Did you vote
I
to?
didn't- Hey. You know,
You
yell
said
at
that-
him.
That's more. Yeah, your mic is off. You're suspended for 10 minutes now.
Wow.
I was doing that
I'm
the
just
whole.
kidding.
I was
It's
doing that the whole
a
time.
compound sentence.
Oh, hold on. Here. I'll pretend I was doing. He was more like writing stuff down.
Can he get released on good behavior?
And Lefty was talking.
He was
asking
on his
questions.
phone.
Did you vote yes or no, sir?
Sure. Right.
Yeah, is that a yes or a no?
Hello. You talking to me?
So you have no wheelchair access in your town, and now disabled vets.
Sure.
You just victimized disabled war vets
Yes.
by
sure.
taking their medicine away.
Right.
Who takes medicine away from sick kids?
Yes. Go to council meeting.
But sir, it's not a public.
Yes.
Sir,
Council meeting.
it's not your personal opinion. You voted on this.
I
So-
don't want to tell you what I think.
No, it's not
Go
what
to
you think.
council meeting.
You voted, and you victimized people with your vote.
Yes. Right.
You have affected
I'm
people's
very
lives.
busy. I'm
Mr.
very busy.
Mr. Chung, you have affected people's lives.
How you know my name? I not tell you my name. How you know?
Your pictures everywhere in town.
You good. You very good.
Stop it. No. That's racist right there. You can't do that.
Refty.
I'm only reenacting what went down there.
Wow. Are you going to allow this?
I didn't.
I'm suspending everyone now. Just
You
Eric. Eric, your
asshole.
show's yours, Eric. Ready, go.
Wow.
I have a speech
I'm
impediment.
not sure I'm the guy for this.
Oh Jesus. Sorry.
Oh my God.
So that was Palisades Park, pretty much in a nutshell. That was
Racist?
the guy just wanted to get out of the building. It was racist. He was talking Korean while he was in the council chambers, okay?
Marginalized.
And then outside, he kind of like ran like he was doing, I don't know,
He
paperwork.
didn't want to answer your questions.
No.
And he didn't want to talk to Lefty.
No.
He said, bring it to the council, kind of like, when like a police officer arrests you and, they tell you, tell it to the judge.
Yeah.
This guy was pretty much like, yeah, tell it to the town council meeting next month.
For 15 minutes you have.
Yes. The first 15, because
We
if
will
you're in the
now-
second 15, that's in Korean. And if you don't speak Korean, you're SOL.
For that, we will afford
For real?
the public 15 seconds each to speak.
First, we want you to say your name, spell it backwards, and then your 15 seconds should be way over by then. Thank you. Next. 15 seconds. I don't think they give you 15 seconds.
That's terrible.
It's like minute rice. Never mind.
Ron
I'm not
Rice.
even going to go there.
Senator Uncle Ron Rice.
There's another thing. So
Minute ice.
we'll go real quick. We also did North Plainfield. And in North Plainfield, you had Lefty. Oh my God, it was beautiful. You had Lefty, you had Jade, you had Jeff Oakes, and myself. We all spoke because someone told us that they banned a medical dispensary. No, they actually tabled it, and they said they wanted to hear from the public.
Yeah.
Not that day though, but they heard us. And uh-oh.
Oh, you gonna give us something?
Uh-oh.
I came across this in my change the other day at the store, and it made me think of you guys.
That's $1. And what does it say on there?
Not to be used for bribing politicians.
Give him a microphone. What does that say? Hold on.
There's a mic
Grab that
right
mic
there,
right
bro.
there. What does it say?
Says not to be used for bribing politicians. I got that in my change at the store the other day, and you guys popped in my mind. It's been hanging out in my back pocket, waiting to see you.
Oh wow.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks. What's your name?
They call me Mr. Coffee.
Mr. Coffee.
Mr. Coffee, thanks.
Where the
Thank
fuck's
you,
our
sir.
coffee?
Hey, where's my coffee, man?
I got
I'm
to go
just
fix
Be good, brother.
Oh, you work for
Please.
Aramark.
You got to
Yeah.
put that in a
Nice.
frame.
Mr. Coffee.
Yes, we are saving that. We're gonna save that, dude. Thank you, Mr. Coffee.
I saw that and thought of you guys.
You got Thank
You're
you,
the
man.
Thank you,
rock.
brother.
Cool. Wow, Mr. Coffee from Aramark.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Filters.
I can't hear you. You're suspended.
You're in
You're
purgatory.
suspended till you get to the
No.
damn mic.
You suspended yours. You can't hear me.
Oh boy. So North Plainfield, we all spoke. We talked to the council members, a couple of the council members afterwards.
Yes. Who's that woman we talked to?
Kiona Miller.
Kiona Miller.
Oh Lord of mercy.
She's wonderful.
So Jeff didn't have to throw his chemo bag this time?
No, Jeff spoke eloquently. Jeff pretty much spoke and
He's
said,
a-
"Listen,
he's amazing.
I'm offended. I'm kind of paraphrasing what he said. He kind of said to the council, "I'm very offended that you would even consider taking my medicine away from me, and by not allowing a medical dispensary, that's what you're in essence doing." And like that, it must have. Every time he talks, people listen. It hits them. And Kiona Miller and who was the other guy? I don't remember the
I forget his name, but
dude.
look it up.
But he was like, "Hey, thanks for showing up. The vote's going to be on this day. Show up again. Have your friends show up. Let
What
these
date?
people know."
The 19th, November 19th,
November 19th.
same day as Brick. Yes, we know.
Very
Same day as
torn. Very, very torn. Brick's a hard sell.
Well,
Brick's taken care of, though. We don't really need to show up in Brick. We have
I
a
hope
few
Jim
people.
Miller does. God, I hope he shows up.
Well, Hugh is speaking, and I think a few people are going to speak
Use the man.
in behalf of the patients. So that's helpful.
it's awesome.
Oh, Plainfield's much closer to my home.
Me too.
Just saying.
Me too.
And then
It's all far. I'll go.
yesterday was a big
I'll
day.
yell at him.
There was a lot of events
From the
yesterday.
corner?
Well, yeah, with that big pointy hat on. Yeah, you're right. That dunce thing. Yeah.
Yesterday in Jersey City.
So, how did the patients event go off last week at the Weed Man's Joint, Lefty?
Oh, it was great. Dr. Stepper was spinning for like 6 hours. It was incredible. We had a sesh. It was great. We had a good time.
I had a good time.
Several sessions, I would think.
Yeah, Weedman was cooking for everybody.
What was he cooking?
Oh, cheesesteaks and chicken and fish, and all
Meth?
kinds of stuff.
No meth? Sorry.
Is
No,
that on-
I'm not starting.
Is that on the menu?
Trenton
No, Red and Meth
Don't
were
listen
not
to
there.
me.
Red and Meth were not there. I'm sorry.
Method Man?
Method
Damn.
Man. Yeah, we should call the. I don't have no phone. Shit, I was gonna say we call the joint, but
Got your phone.
phones ain't working today.
Your phone.
You suck. Let's talk about sex, baby. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, so North Plainfield was 2 miles away from where Jay Oleto died. Is my friend who overdosed a couple of years ago
He overdosed on what?
on heroin and pills.
Because he couldn't have
Right.
access to
Yeah, he
a
called me.
safe, viable treatment option.
He had
for
access.
his
He
pain.
was in the process.
Yeah, he was
he
wanted
was
to
in
get
that
it.
year process.
Oh, the
Yeah,
process.
he was still waiting.
Yeah, it's sort of like the speedy right to trial here in New
Right.
Jersey. I think our friend Ed could talk about the 441 days of speedy trial he endured.
447. Don't
Pardon
short
me.
him any.
That's right. He can't cop short. 447 days held in jail as a political prisoner, in my opinion. Anyway, sorry. God.
So talk about it. How was Sunday?
Yeah.
You can like one sentence. That was it.
How was it? What T-shirt
He was
contest?
paraphrasing.
The wet t-shirt contest went well. Wayne won.
All right.
I can't help. I got nice big titties.
Did you really smoke weed in the green,
Yes, yes, I
Morristown
did.
green, with a sub in
Yes, swear to God.
your fat mouth?
I should have took a picture, but I was too fucking high. I swear to God. Oh, it sucked. It did.
Did people show up in Morristown? I wonder.
No.
I
It's
hope
just
not.
a normal day in Morristown on the green, minus people in the heart, having a little rally.
Was there anyone doing yoga, perhaps? Just checking. How they feel about yoga.
Yeah, they hate yoga in Morristown.
Yoga
It's
shaming.
bad
Morristown.
news.
Yoga shaming.
There were a couple.
You guys doing that peaceful stuff on our green? No way.
How dare you yoga here?
There were a couple of transients doing the Kumu Sutra. Is that what you call it?
Kama Sutra?
Whatever you want to call it. Well, yeah, they were behind a bench, behind the bushes. I did notice that. They were grinding. Clothes were on. Don't get me wrong. Clothes were on, but they were grinding.
Wow.
Is that yoga? They were quiet.
Could be a form of tantric yoga, perhaps.
Are you allowed to power walk or jog on the Morristown Green?
Yes.
Chris Goldstein.
Yes.
I like to power moonwalk.
Yes.
personally.
No yoga.
That would be. I wish I could do that.
Yeah, because there's a transient in Morristown. He goes around the whole Morristown, and he just jogs, and he does it around the green a lot.
Does he do it counterclockwise while everyone else does it clockwise?
No, he
Going
goes with
against
the
the
flow.
grain.
He goes with the flow.
God bless him.
We have a situation here. We may have a pregnancy that's going to happen right here.
Come on, Colleen.
We have drilled a hole.
Burst
The
your water
placenta.
right now.
You ready? Do some jumping jacks, Colleen.
Let's talk about
Colleen Bagley is a medical marijuana patient on probation who is having one of the most healthy pregnancies in her clinic right now. Isn't that correct, Colleen?
That is correct.
And not only is the OBGYN thrilled at the pregnancy going so healthy, but you've also come up with the name of the baby. Do you want to do a baby name reveal here on the podcast today? Baby name reveal?
The baby will be Katrina Marley Begley.
Katrina Marley Bagley.
Hey, everyone who loves Katrina, raise your
Yes.
hands.
All right.
And
Right on.
for
We
many,
love you, man.
and Katrina Marley Bagley will be one of the tens of thousands of cannabis babies that have been born legally in New Jersey to patients over the years, probably. And to all the women out there who do use cannabis during pregnancy, it is safe and effective for pregnancy and the child. A lot of people talk about, that THC can be transferred in breast milk, but honestly, that's what they do with babies. They often give the mother medication that the baby's supposed to get later on. So it's just nature taking the way it's supposed to be. So where do you plan to have the baby? Right here on the lawn, right?
That's correct. We're calling on Phil Murphy to come outside and negotiate with the cannabis activists that have the most skin in the game.
He's
of
in
all the
Europe
cannabis
right now. We
activists.
got to wait till he comes to New Jersey.
What kind of skin?
The most skin in the game.
How many?
But this
3,
is-
4 skins?
We'll see. We'll see.
Foreskin.
Did you?
How many
Did
foreskins
you
are in the
notice?
game? I wanna know.
By the way, did you notice Alira Healthcare in Pennsylvania was hacked this week?
Really? What does that mean?
By black market marijuana dealers, they're claiming.
That's
Okay,
racist.
Oh, and what did they
Lefty,
do? Change the
you gotta-
prices to something normal?
No, you got to check
Wait,
this
didn't,
out.
didn't they post something like
Go
on,
ahead.
Their, on their social media? I was reading about it in one of the PA groups. I don't know all about it though. But
All
go
right.
ahead.
So
Oh, come on, Eric.
Alira Healthcare is a grower processor in Pennsylvania, which means that they have a dispensary, but they also supply the other dispensaries. So you can get Alira product in most of the dispensaries, actually. So Alira on social media on their Instagram had a picture of a police badge that said medical marijuana is a privilege and not a right.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Driving
Which,
in New
to
Jersey.
anybody in the marijuana community was like, what the fuck is happening? Like,
Yeah.
so
Friendly
obviously
show.
patients and people who bought the marijuana from Alira started messaging that they thought that marijuana is indeed their right as patients in Pennsylvania, and they were pretty upset by the feed and paying all this money for their expensive flower for them to put stuff like that on their social media. So the response to that was Alira sent a letter out claiming that black market marijuana dealers hacked their Google account to steal product pricing and product information, and apparently gained access to their Instagram feed in order to post a message that they actually agree with.
I love when that happens.
And that they took pains to explain was actually the right thing to post. So now wait. So happy accident that the mean hackers posted something that they wanted. But I also want to say that if we can plug into the marijuana matrix and buy our weed from Morpheus and Trinity, if every gram that I buy goes
want the
to
green pill.
hackers, like I'm ready to do it. Like I'm ready to support the dispensary that also hacks people, I guess. But like the concept that black market dealers would hack a regulated Pennsylvania dispensary to post pictures of police badges to their feed. Either they
It sounds very likely.
Oh, I'm all day.
Extremely likely.
In fact, every marijuana dealer I know is sitting around trying to hack into dispensaries all day. They're not, you know what I mean? Seriously.
Why would they want to hack into a dispensary? They
Because
have
look,
the
and
worst
post
weed.
a police badge. The only people that do that are the police. Okay, if they were hacked, it was by the cops. All right, and that's okay. Cops do that all the time. Retired, current. You know, maybe they're having a little fun, but it was not a bunch of black market weed dealers. We guarantee that. In fact, I don't think that they were hacked at all. I think they were just a bunch of dumbasses, and they extended their stupidity by putting that letter out. So they made the whole program look bad. I'm not sure that anybody can really trust a Lyra product. If they were hacked by black market weed dealers or errant police members, it does call into question, was patient information compromised?
Right.
And HIPAA does not cover stuff at medical marijuana dispensaries or anything like that. So you don't have any actual information protection, you know. So, I thought that was one of the best stories of the week, that black market weed dealers are hacking a Lyra dispensary in Pennsylvania to post pictures to their Instagram of badges that say that marijuana is a privilege and not a right. So that's our regulated permit holders. And did you notice Curaleaf this week with their line of feminine care products?
Cure a thief.
Curaleaf has come out with a CBD line that is shipped from Kentucky.
Douche?
Here, Kyle.
Do they sell douches?
Buy a douche.
It's these are vape pens, actually. They just look like douches.
Sold by them, though.
Again,
Curaleaf
they
has
do.
them.
I
How
don't
much
want
are
to.
they?
I don't need to point out that Curaleaf is the very same company that Acreage Holdings owns, and that means that Curaleaf, speaking of douches, is part and parcel with Speaker John Boehner.
Don't jump, lady. Don't jump.
Speaker John Boehner was is part of that. I
Life
think
is
she's
worth
okay.
more than that, lady. Don't jump from that scaffolding.
She's wearing a hard hat. Is she wearing a hard hat?
Well, that's just in case she falls. But don't jump.
I think she's doing something official.
Official. Does anybody know how much that is at Curaleaf for that?
You don't
Is it
get
a
it at
gram?
Curaleaf. Now, here's the thing, Wayne. Okay, so let me get back to the story. Just this week, somebody who works in the industry and who is a patient sent me a picture of something that was for sale, not in a dispensary, but at Dr. Medvedovsky's office. And Dr. Medvedovsky now has at his office for sale directly outside of the dispensary, not just to medical marijuana patients, but I guess anybody who comes up, is Curaleaf branded hemp-derived CBD vape pens in 5 different flavors. All right, look, do you guys usually vaporize refined coconut oil? I mean, you're a cook, Wayne.
I don't.
How often do you go vape some coconut oil? How about stevia? Do you like to vape that stevia?
Oh, I love to chop stevia up into lines and sniff it.
I hate that shit because if you look at the package, they try to make it look like it's a marijuana leaf. If you notice that.
Again, the packaging looks like air freshener, and it reads like.
Here, this is what it says on the packaging. 225 plus milligrams of CBD total. With each serving of the vape pen included about 2.5 milligrams to 5 milligrams of CBD.
got a
Please
long-
note, everyone's draw is different. So that basically tells me, please note everyone's draws. Every pen is not the same. They suck. 0 THC, cartridge and battery housed inside the pen, ready to use if you're lucky. Long-lasting battery for approximately 150 puffs.
I have real problems with this stuff. It's
what about the
branded-
ingredients, though? You were absolutely right. Hemp CBD, or one of the ingredients,
Yeah.
refined coconut
Eric,
oil, essential.
get over
What
here.
essential oils?
Look,
and
Rich.
stevia. Are you
Look-
kidding me?
Rich, it's okay. When they say CBD, they don't mean
You sell CBD.
cannabidiol. That's not what they mean. When they say CBD, they mean Caucasian bullshit drops. All right now.
Oh my God!
All right now.
I love you.
It's
Chris.
okay. Like a lot of people are confusing cannabidiol for Caucasian bullshit drops, and like everywhere I
take the
see it,
bullshit,
it's like
baby.
in ice cream and shit. Like it's like people think they're getting cannabidiol, but they're getting John Boehner's Caucasian bullshit drops. So I don't know how often people are going to, or how much they're going to pay to have Caucasian bullshit drops boofed all day in these vape pens
How
that
much
look like
are
air
they?
freshener. But
Yeah, how much are
How
they?
much are they selling?
it doesn't matter how much they are.
It's just crazy to sell
Well,
that
no,
shit.
because it does. I bet you they're even screwing you on the price of that.
Look, Wayne,
You know?
right? There's no fair price for Caucasian bullshit drops. Okay, no matter if it's $1 or $50, it's still Caucasian bullshit drops. All
I
right.
don't know. Some people live by it.
Some people live by Caucasian bullshit drops.
Yeah,
Wayne, that has been true for.
Well, not all CBD is like that. Though.
That's
You know
true.
that,
There is
right?
actual
I know real
cannabidiol,
CBD. Yeah,
but I'm not
indeed.
talking about cannabidiol.
You're talking
I'm talking about Caucasian bullshit drops that are shipped in from Kentucky, labeled Curaleaf, a New Jersey permit holder, a company that's owned by Acreage Holdings that Speaker John Boehner works for. Caucasian bullshit drops. Okay. And I'm not okay with having a New Jersey medical marijuana permit holder's brand on Caucasian bullshit drops shipped in from Kentucky. Okay.
Why can't we make our own Caucasian bullshit drops here in this great state of New Jersey?
Look, I don't want you to make Caucasian bullshit drops
But
ever.
Curaleaf is
Okay.
Come on. I thought you were my friend.
I want you to make cannabidiol one day, Rich. I want us all to have mobile testing laboratories that cost $2 to $5 a test, so you can grow your own marijuana and figure out which plants have more CBD in them, actual cannabidiol, so that you could sit down and make CBD drops, so that you don't ever
Real
have to
ones.
buy a Caucasian bullshit drop
drops.
from John Boehner ever again.
That would be wonderful.
All right, it's that simple. So, but here's the thing: these guys canceled the marijuana vote. No voting on marijuana again. 100 days.
Shocker.
100 days. No.
They're dealing with the rape right
Hashtag
now.
still waiting.
There's a sexual assault going on now.
It is not.
First things first.
Not the issue.
All this is stopped because of Al Alvarez. You got to be kidding me.
I'm going to point out
Democrat,
that it is
right?
late
Democrat?
October in 2018
Democrat.
that Canada
Yeah.
has legalized
I
marijuana,
do.
that 9 cities in
Oh.
Pennsylvania have decriminalized cannabis, and that we haven't done anything about arrests. Zero. Haven't done anything about arrests in New Jersey. So today, a year later, Phil Murphy took over Chris Christie's legacy of 32,000 arrests a year. So far, this attorney general and governor
Yeah, I
have
love
not
you
been
all.
able
That's my
to
fighter.
stop
I'm
arrests
just
or
saying.
enact expungements. And that's 89 people a day, 3,000 people a month that are getting arrested for weed right
That's
now.
More? That's more.
And what?
While John Boehner sells Caucasian bullshit drops with his branded New Jersey marijuana dispensary. That is not okay. By the way,
Who's allowing
Curaleaf.
it? Someone's a
John Boehner is
Someone's
a
allowing
bad
it.
boy.
By the way, you guys, you know that Curaleaf was Paliatech. Paliatech is John O'Brien, the former director of New Jersey's medical marijuana program.
Ain't he in New York now?
Paliatech. Yeah. What's that?
Isn't he in New York?
Yeah, they tried for a dispensary in New York using his name, but they failed. But they do have this one here, and they do have other ones. So, here's the problem, guys. If John Boehner gets to sell Caucasian bullshit drops and medical marijuana at the same time that people are still getting arrested for marijuana possession in New Jersey, how does that equal justice? We have to really start asking ourselves that question.
Well, who do we ask?
Mr. Barini, right to the point. That's the problem. I think that we're realizing now that Chris Christie wasn't as big a bad a wolf on this issue as we thought he was. That there's a lot of support in the legislature on both sides of the aisle to maintain prohibition. Or else, once he was gone, it would have been legal. It's not just Chris Christie that held this state back and turned it into the no garden state that it is today. It's these same people who are in the legislature, and they do have a responsibility to us right now.
The Democratic-run Senate and the Democratic-run Assembly in New Jersey?
Amazingly enough, that is my point, is that, again, Chris Christie didn't get away with turning this into the no garden state all on his lonesome. That's where he found a whole lot of support. Democrats and Republicans, like Mary Pat Angelini, are able to play the prevention game with all this money, too.
Both sides of the aisle are involved with that.
Agreed.
Completely agreed.
Oh, well, we know, though, you need 21 votes in the Senate to pass the bill. We got 30 Democrats.
Look,
Hello?
Yeah, well,
21. That's all you need is 21.
Exactly. We have
Guys,
there
Apparently,
are
Democrats
prohibitionists.
aren't down with it.
Wayne, I love you
There are.
because
I
you think
agree.
in politics in terms of a Republican, and that is what Republicans would do. They work.
No, the Republicans, we know they suck.
No. Hear
Oh,
me out.
the
No.
only Republican
They
is
don't.
Michael
I wanna
Patrick
hear this.
Carroll.
They don't suck. And you got to hear me out, Wayne.
I want to hear
Because
this.
what Republicans are good at is working lockstep on an issue. When, as a caucus, the Republicans agree they do want to do something, there are very few detractors. The problems with the Democrats are they can't get them to vote together on anything. You're saying that there's 30 Democrats. And you're right. The problem is that you can't get the Democrats in the Senate or the Assembly here to in lockstep legalize marijuana. They're just ripping the issue apart from within. And a lot of Republicans are doing that too. Don't get me wrong. But there are some very awesome Republicans like Mike Patrick Carroll, who really is no joke.
No,
I mean,
talked to him
way
a lot.
ahead of the curve.
You know what really hurts me? Okay. I've spoken to Michael Patrick Carroll, Assemblyman, about this. And I say, you have a bill out there. I'm just curious. Do you talk to Sweeney? Do you talk to, Scootery?
Scooterai.
And the answer is always, they never call me. They don't want to hear from me.
I don't disagree. I mean,
That's
Senator
true.
Scutari came to our party in Philly 2 years ago. Haven't heard from him since, pretty much. So,
wow,
it's terrible.
I don't disagree. And
this guy shouldn't be writing a bill.
No. That's. I wish that were
Scooterai.
true. But look,
Tell us about Decrim Day.
I want to talk about that too.
Yeah, it was hella fun.
Yeah.
Because you guys were here. I'm sorry. Like, you guys need to come out to this shit and experience the non-oppressive state. And we did. It's an open public thing. We invited everybody.
It was on the same day. It was conflicting
Yeah,
day.
you guys were doing something else. It's no biggie.
Yeah.
But it's not like I was like, I invite you guys to come out.
I
all
know.
kinds of stuff.
I would love to come.
No, we had a great time. We went out to City Hall.
What
The
for?
Octavius
What
Cato
for?
statue.
What for?
Well, first of all, everybody knows the Octavius Cato story and statue. I hope you do. Is that he was an amazing activist in Philadelphia. He was an amazing African-American activist, a big 14th Amendment guy. And the statue of him is gorgeous. It's this picture. It's this. When I saw the picture of it originally, I didn't really envision how awesome the space was going to be. But he's standing there, and behind him they have this sections of the Constitution, but these two free speech podiums. So it's like a free speech area, which is great. And so we had our free speech area set up at the Cato statue, and it was October 20th, the day that decrim went into place in Philly. And that was the day that Mike Whiter got a ticket for $25. I think it was $100 actually, the first time for smoking in public. Yeah.
4 years.
And 4 years ago. And 4 years ago, it really is worth noting that Philadelphia was arresting 5,000 people a year for possession and putting them all in handcuffs and taking them all into criminal court. Every single one. That was the process. In 2010, we had created a diversion program that was called the Small Amount of Marijuana Program. And about 80% of people would plea out, but they still got arrested, still had to go to court, and they still had to go through the process. So when we created the tickets in 2014, it was really profound. Now, mind you, Pennsylvania doesn't have a civil code for anything. So when we decided we wanted to create tickets that offered no chance of a criminal record, a civil violation, we had to go searching through the Philadelphia criminal code to figure out where there was another ticket similar. And we landed upon what is called a code violation notice. And it is the one kind of ticket a cop in Philly has on them all the time that is a non-criminal ticket. And it's for sanitation. Like if you leave too much trash on your stoop, it's a $25 civil ticket. So we called up that department, which is the Office of OAR, Office of Associative Resources or something, Administrative Resources. And we woke them up in the middle of the night. We need some trash tickets. Where are you? God, help. It's the one time the trash people's emergency line goes off in the 4 a.m. You know what I mean? Holy shit. It's a real emergency.
It's about cannabis. It is an emergency.
Point of fact, we actually arranged a conference call one day at about 10 a.m. to talk about all this. But anyway, they said, we'll take over their ticket responsibility for the marijuana tickets, and we'll make an easy way online for people to pay them. And they did. So they were ready to go on October 20th. Mayor Nutter signed the bill on October 1st. The tickets were implemented October 20th. The entire system was ready to go online. As soon as people got tickets, they could pay them. And if they didn't get arrested or taken to court. They would wait 2 years. And if you didn't pay, you would start getting annoying collections calls about your ticket. And if you still didn't pay, you might get a little mark on your credit rating. That's it. So that's a very reasonable way to deal with somebody smoking marijuana in public if it's not legal completely. So if you choose to have a deterrent or a prohibition in that way, I guess that's as good as it gets. So yeah, 4 years ago, that means 20,000 fewer people have been arrested in the last 4 years. And it also means $16 million saved. And it also means that when you go to Philly now, everybody doesn't care. I mean, the atmosphere has changed dramatically.
You know,
and that's a good thing.
But we want to know about the part with the guy in the great big cannabis suit. And
Was
that
it
really,
a guy or was it a girl?
I don't
Because,
know. I
yeah,
couldn't tell from the film.
it's
It was
not
it's
either. 'Cause
mysterious.
Hempy, Hempy, that is
Humpy?
Hempy.
Hempy.
Oh, sorry, that slipped out.
Hempy.
That's from Delaware Normal, right?
That is Delaware Normal's mascot.
Oh, right on.
He is hashtagged and trademarked, my friend.
I love
So
Hashtag Delaware Normal
Yeah.
Humpy
Del-
or whatever his name, Hempy.
What is wrong with you?
Hashtag, I'm sorry, that was in
Well,
my
I'm
head.
sorry.
It's sort of like a song, you know.
You're being a shock
Sorry.
jock.
I can't help it.
Hempy.
Hempy.
I love Hempy.
You know, if I could say something real quick.
I'm a friend of Hempy.
You're not allowed to say anything. You have a microphone and right in front of your face. So of course
Yeah,
you
we
can't
just
say
do that
anything.
to tease you, Wayne.
See, like those last couple of seconds, I couldn't say shit, right? Anyway, I got to say, it was a beautiful thing for Philadelphia I'm going to give credit to Nikki Allen Poe, Mike Whiter, and this guy right here, Chris Goldstein.
That's right. Thank you, Chris.
Right on.
If it wasn't for those guys, I mean, I'm a lifelong Eagle fan.
Oh, jeez. Here we
And
go.
I went to the big celebration. And I smoked so much cannabis. And I wasn't the only guy smoking cannabis at that party.
Were you as high as an eagle?
I was higher than an eagle's ass. And the
Now
police
I
didn't
know.
care. And thanks to those three doing diligent work, I commend you guys. I really do.
Guerrilla activism.
Well,
Love it,
we
man.
we always when we started it, we thought we were doing this for Wayne Barini.
Yes, thank you.
See,
you for your
they
leadership.
wanted,
Yes.
they wanted me to
It
come
is
back
all
home
about
to
you,
Philly.
Wayne.
Because all
They
that
did.
work gathering up the justice statistics to prove that more black people than white people get arrested in Philadelphia was so that you could come to Philadelphia and exercise your white privilege.
Thank
so,
you. Thank
again.
you. I appreciate it.
Right by
Thanks
Geno's.
to you, I have white privilege.
And walk
I'm
across the
blaming
street and do
you,
it again.
Hey.
Chris Goldstein. Thank you.
I'm just messing with you, Wayne.
I know.
You know, Philly has changed dramatically. I was at that conference. There was a Diasporic Alliance for Cannabis Opportunities conference there last week with about 700 people. And it was to bring opportunities into the black community for cannabis businesses. And there was like 700 black people at Temple's Medical School. Really, they were ready. They were ready to get into the marijuana game. Believe me, they were ready last week. But that again, I mean, that's part of what Decrim brought to Philly is that. I mean, the week before I was at the Belmont Mansion. Derek Pitts, the astronomer at WHYY and the Franklin Institute, his wife is getting into the cannabis industry. So they rented out the Belmont Mansion, and it was all these black investors looking to get into the industry. There was fresh marijuana leaves on every table.
Mhm.
And, when you see that with the big conference and you see what's going on
Yeah.
in Philadelphia, I think that decriminalization, we did it as a social justice issue to stop arrests. And one of the reasons we want to stop arrests is to bring liberty to the cannabis community. Is that once not only the people who are directly arrested all the time, they're not getting arrested anymore, but the whole city sees people and police interacting a different way over this, and the whole city sort of breathes a sigh of relief and sort of starts embracing a sense of freedom about it. So that I think is important to getting 700 people to show up at an opportunity conference there, and also feel good about like standing around and smoking weed together. So it's, we've seen a bigger shift in Philly than New Jersey has gotten to yet. And that really makes me sad because I think that cities like Trenton and some other communities have a real responsibility here. The places where people are arrested the most need to deal with these problems first. And that's what we did in Philly. It was the most arresting city in Pennsylvania. And by the way, after Philadelphia, 8 other cities did it.
Yep.
Lancaster was the most recent.
Did you
York, Erie, State College,
Pittsburgh.
Harrisburg, Pittsburgh. They didn't all implement the same way Philly did with such a dramatic arrest decline. But, even Harrisburg arrests went down 50%. So, the idea that, decriminal and I have to say, that's part of the problem with Senator Ron Rice and their current effort. They've twisted around this word of decriminalization. Look, this legislature can stop arresting cannabis consumers today. It's not some sort of crazy concept. It's what most other states have already done. Why we go on being the 4th in the country for marijuana arrests. You all know that, right? When the FBI, out of 600,000 Americans who are arrested, I'll tell you the top arresting states: Texas, Louisiana, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania.
Wow.
And then beyond Pennsylvania's 20,000 a year, every other state that is even close is like 10,000. I mean, these are not only just the top arresting states, but exponentially the highest number of arrests happen in these states.
How many of them have a medical marijuana program?
Texas, Louisiana.
All of them, right?
New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania all have medical marijuana
And they're still arresting people for freaking weed.
I would say that these arrests have actually gone up since their medical marijuana programs have been implemented.
Wow.
And police, it was just this year. I mean, just this year, flour and everything went on sale in Pennsylvania. It went on sale in February. And when marijuana went on sale in Pennsylvania for patients, the first thing the New Jersey State Police said was, listen, we're going to be looking at the list, and you could just start bringing your guns in anytime because you're not allowed to have any guns. That scared the shit out of people. And they were right. Pennsylvania's really fucked up law had put every single patient into the JNet database, which is essentially the criminal law enforcement justice database. I will say that to their credit, Governor Wolf and Attorney General Josh Shapiro personally intervened and made sure that every patient is no longer put into the JNet database. But the idea that you would even start the program by putting everybody into the law enforcement database just for being a medical marijuana patient is a sin.
Especially in Pennsylvania, where I was from. There's a lot of hunters, and a lot of people have guns, shotguns, just for hunting. And now you're trying to get into a medical marijuana program, and they want to take your guns away.
It's not just that; it's the driver's license too. New Jersey State Police also announced that patients really shouldn't be driving because they're going to get a DUI, which actually is also correct, because there are no protections for people to be driving down the road and a medical marijuana patient, because Pennsylvania has one of the only in the nation zero tolerance per se marijuana DUI laws. Any detectable amount of marijuana in your system, you're going to love this, Wayne. A 19-year-old medical marijuana patient from New Jersey
I heard this story.
Pulled over in Pennsylvania and presents his medical marijuana card, and they charge him with DUI, even though he has no marijuana in the car. And of course, he tests positive enough to trigger the DUI.
Wow.
Yeah, all day.
But they don't have like a commonsensical, like, hey, like
commonsensical.
We have,
a
program here.
He uses the Urban Dictionary. Excuse him.
Commonsensical is the suburban white dictionary, not the urban dictionary.
Well,
whatever you want.
Commonsensical is the pumpkin
Just gotta throw
spice
the white in
dictionary
there.
right there.
Oh, shut up, Wayne. Go ahead and talk.
I forget what I was saying. You don't do that to a freaking stoner, man. No, but seriously, like, don't you think they'd be like, hey, like we have a
Barini's
medical
Old World Flower Market.
marijuana. What's up? We have a medical marijuana program.
Oh yeah,
we
that's
got to
right.
change our no marijuana tolerance on driving. Like, don't you think, like, hey, let's get together and change the law?
Well, why don't they do the same thing for like people who take, I don't know, Ambien? Why don't they have a special test for people who take Ambien?
I just want to
You
point
can't
out-
drive. You were taking Ambien. It makes you sleep. You can't drive. You can sleep behind the wheel.
I actually want to point out that you can get a DUI for having Ambien in your system.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What is the world
They already
coming
do
to?
that, and
Do they
that's
have one
actually-
for rice and beans?
That's actually a good thing. You just want to talk to Patrick J. Kennedy and look up photos of a green Mustang up on the wall in front of Congress in like 1995. So Ambien and driving do not mix, and it's a good thing that we have
It's a
laws
bad
against it, all right?
combination.
Yeah, you probably don't want to do that.
You don't want to drive and you don't want to take pills.
I don't know how
Smoke
Patrick Kennedy
cannabis,
crashed a
it's better
Mustang
for you.
into a wall in Congress on Ambien and came out an anti-marijuana guy. That is the most weirdest thing ever. Yes. He's
You
a
know, he
Jersey
drank the
resident.
Kool-Aid.
You know,
He lives here in
yeah,
Jersey.
Yeah, he's
Drank
a
the Kool-Aid.
Does he come
gone.
in with Chris Christie to get Barini's Old World famous flower market chicken salad?
No, he's actually down. I believe we call it South Jersey. It's probably Central Jersey, and he actually has gone to
Central
a couple
Jersey.
of town council meetings.
Where at?
Oh, didn't we run into some guy?
Brigantine.
Brigantine, and yeah, he's one
I
of those.
remember him.
I'm for smart approaches to marijuana, but yeah, no, we shouldn't have legalization because the kids. He gave that speech, and his 5 kids, and if they have legalization, all of a sudden his 5 kids, they'll probably, they won't do the Kennedy routine, alcohol and shit.
Nice spy glasses.
So, like, his 5 kids may what? Get hungry, sleep well, laugh a little bit, really appreciate me. Come on, man.
That's a Kennedy. What do you want?
Look,
Hey,
Kennedy. When we talk about marijuana and driving, it's a massive hang up to legislation in New Jersey. So it's an important point to consider. But until they come up with a Star Trek tricorder, the police are not going to be happy enough with their roadside testing technique. Okay?
No, they're
so
not.
All of it's subjective, by the way.
Well, there is enough. I don't think
it's
that
not subjective.
marijuana should be treated like Ambien, because I think that
the
Ambien is
Verona
a much
Police
more serious
Department.
drug. But the other thing about marijuana and driving, and why creating a policy for it is critical, is that if you want workplace protections for firefighters and truckers and for police officers,
Truckers with a T,
to be able to use cannabis either as consumers after full legalization or as medical cannabis patients, that how we treat driving for everybody comes into play there. Now, this is what I think the policy should be. I think that you went a little too far with the Ambien analogy, but I think you could get closer than that and say, we have a lot of over-the-counter allergy and cold medications that have a warning that reads, not do not drive. It says, do not drive or operate heavy machinery until you know how this product affects you. And that is a very reasonable approach to cannabis. All right.
Indeed.
So I would say, especially for what we would call a novice consumer, you know what I mean? So somebody who really doesn't have much experience with cannabis products, who is using something and looking at a label for how to really gauge their day.
Don't eat this cookie and drive. See how it affects you first.
Don't eat this cookie without chatting with Maureen O'Dowd. But
listen, I'm a stoner. We're all stoners.
I'm not a stoner.
The first time you got stoned, I don't think that's a good time to get behind the
No,
wheel of a
probably
car.
not.
No.
You're right.
That's what he's saying.
Oh, I agree.
He's making a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Well, like that's
I
how
agree.
part of the problem with us as a community is that we gauge how marijuana should be legislated versus the experienced consumer. And what lawmakers and the industry have to do is come up with a safety regime for the novice consumer. That's what they build everything around, is to somebody who has zero experience with the product, which is actually not a bad approach if you think about it in a lot of ways. But you have to, just like the alcohol industry does that in a regulatory phase. They treat everybody as if they don't drink, and you have to have these warnings and don't drive. And, they treat everybody as if they don't drink. But they also cater to a community of people who drink every day, and they do it very well. So I think a cannabis industry can do the same, but it has to be a free market industry with the kind of competition that alcohol has to pull all this off, which gets back to our next hang up in New Jersey, which is micro permits. So you guys have been really admirably going to all the towns where they've been doing the bans, which is fine. If towns want to do that, that's fine. But that's like 1950s approach to their problem. We're going to give them a 2018 answer that is going to make everybody kind of shut up after marijuana is legalized. So it is 2018, and most people already get a lot of their marijuana products delivered to their house. And they also get a lot of things delivered to their house, like from Amazon and such. So what you need is a micro permit system that allows home delivery. So the micro permit holders in a community are able to purchase wholesale product from a licensed, tested wholesale source and then sell it within a network in a town,
Can I ask
in a
question before
community.
you
Now,
go
hold on. Now,
where is this? Is this in the bill?
hold on. There's a whole lot of things that are being
This is
talked
just
about
an
that
idea?
aren't in the bill.
Okay.
Have you read the bill?
That's what I'm saying.
The bill isn't much. I mean, the bill is like
much. I
an
don't know.
absolute
It's got-
outline.
It has a little bit of micro growing in there, but
It
it's
says
not
micro
specific.
permits. All right, we have to think about permitting like this. Like people who have a corn or soybean farm make a little bit of money at the farm stand selling directly retail, but their entire business is a wholesale business by the bushel, okay? Because it's an agricultural commodity. People who get a wholesale production license, like the people who have the 6 marijuana medical permits today, should not be able to sell directly to the public much. They should be limited to being a wholesale producer. And from that wholesale producer, we create all these businesses, whether it be stores, micro permit delivery, home delivery direct, all that comes from a wholesale source and the ability to do that. So that's a good business to be in, and there should be a lot of them. Now, the other side is this. You have another permit class, which is the craft cannabis producer. That's an idea where somebody is able to have a warehouse where they grow craft marijuana and a space where people consume it, and they have the microbrewery experience, and it's limited to one site, okay? Now, later on, I'm sure 5 years down the road, we can do the same thing that microbreweries do, which is have that craft cannabis permit float around with gardens and stuff, beer garden kind of a deal later on. So now we've got wholesale producer permit, craft cannabis permit, and then how do we get the marijuana to consumers? Okay.
I'm listening.
You guys are going to towns where they ban marijuana sales. But what they're not banning marijuana sales, guys. They're banning zoning storefront sales locations, right?
Right.
Now think about this.
Right.
This is actually an interesting problem,
It's
and
being zoned out.
This is how micro permits help serve the market in New Jersey and make everybody happy. Now, if you are Hoboken and are thinking about opening a marijuana store, you're going to expect the entire population of Queens to empty into Hoboken the first day that marijuana goes on sale. And Hoboken doesn't want that, not even close, and neither do the legislators in New York, okay? So how do you open retail sales to New Jersey residents without having all of New York City block us from getting our joints, okay? Here's how. Micro permit delivery is how we start the sales. So wholesalers crank up wholesale so that we don't run out of weed, right? Step one. And those wholesalers better be 75% black woman, veteran owned, 25% rich white people, period. That's how you start flipping the script on diversity. It's the wholesale side. Then the micro permit holders, right? Micro permits are going to be home delivery. So that, let's take Point Pleasant Beach, for example, who have banned retail sales through zoning any storefront locations. But if there are 5 micro permit holders in Point Pleasant Beach who are buying wholesale product from the state regulated source and delivering it all through the town and selling it, the app is capturing the sales in Point Pleasant Beach and collecting the taxes, so that the legislators who banned storefront sales at the end of that first year are getting checks from the state of New Jersey for all the taxes on sales that are delivered in their town. I guarantee you they're going to shut the fuck up about any complaints about this stuff in about 12 months of receiving checks.
He's trying to do it the Republican way.
Oh, free market, Wayne.
I love it.
Free market isn't.
I love it.
Free market isn't Democrat or Republican. Free market's just, common sense marijuana policy.
Man, I love the way you think, bro.
Republicans,
So-
Love the way you think.
So we've got a solution to we're not going to have a run on our initial cannabis stores from out-of-state residents, especially New York City. We're going to get marijuana delivered by micro permit holders who will have a stake in the future of our marijuana market, possibly transitioning a lot of underground operators to a legitimate path. And the permits for the micro permit holders, just like the Oakland program, the people who are first in line for a micro permit is anybody who has a marijuana conviction on their record. Not black, white, not man, woman, not veteran, non-veteran. Anybody with a marijuana conviction on their record is first in line for a micro permit. That's the concept.
Man.
So that's how you bring diversity, because most people who are arrested are black as well. That's how you get diversity into the marketplace all the way around. All right. So that's the plan. That would be my plan if I were given $1.6 billion out of the Mega Millions lottery to legalize marijuana in New Jersey and implement a plan to influence the legislature and put into place. That would be it. So
we need home grow, Chris.
Home grow is part of that.
We need home grow.
Home grow is also part of that process.
How would that fit in?
Home grow is part. I don't know how to say this in any other way, but in every single conversation I have with every legislator or staffer about marijuana legalization in New Jersey and Pennsylvania, home grow is at the top of the first things that I talk about, even if they disagree with it. So I don't ever let up on home grow because I feel like it has to be part of the bill, period.
It's only fair.
Well, in New Jersey, it has to be because you saw John Peduto and John Ray Wilson, because we have the first-degree felony operating and maintaining a controlled dangerous substance manufacturing facility, which is used against anybody caught growing even 17 marijuana plants, and that's what sends people to prison, not necessarily the cultivation charge. So here's the concept behind home grow. Like legalizing home grow, they're uncomfortable with. But get this. Again, as I noted, we have especially harsh laws compared to the rest of the country. We decriminalize home grow. So the concept is not to regulate people growing at home, but to make it so that if they are caught, they don't get the entire library of the law thrown at them and they get prison time. So they're not comfortable with regulating home cultivation, which in urban environments, I admit, is challenging. But to the same extent, in Nevada, what they did was they said you can't grow marijuana unless you live 25 miles away from a retail store, which effectively eliminated home cultivation in the city of Las Vegas. But
that's a really, really smart approach to that.
It wouldn't be in New Jersey, Rick, because if
we're on
you
top
made,
of each other.
there would be zero places to grow in New Jersey
Right.
except offshore. So, you know,
Cape May County.
no, there would be sales in Cape May County. I guarantee you,
my.
Cape May people love to smoke joints right there on the beach, collecting those little diamond quartzes.
Mhm.
So, look, I mean, again, the concept here. Oh, the other thing that not only is home cultivation going to be in there, but we would have an add-on consumption permit for existing businesses, and also an add-on retail micro permit for existing businesses. So if you're a bodega that sells cigars, you could sell a small amount of marijuana there as well. If you're a bar that wants to have joints, you can sell X amount of pounds a month out of the bar.
Doinks.
What if I'm a food business that wants to sell?
If you're a food
Infused
business,
product.
there's two types of permits you can get, Wayne. One is to sell wholesale cannabis products from the wholesale producers over the counter. Joints on the counter next to the sugar sticks or whatever. Okay.
Bam!
But then you'd have a second permit that allows you to get an extra inspection from whatever marijuana department there is, so that you can have a section of your kitchen that's sort of like how you keep a kosher or a gluten-free section of the kitchen. You have a section of the kitchen that's dedicated as the cannabis kitchen. And there you can produce your own edibles
sounds
out of
nice.
the cannabis
We'll talk
kitchen.
about my
I know who
TV
would be
show.
working in that kitchen. CK.
So the cannabis kitchen is right there. See, Wayne, honestly, you could have a TV show overnight. All you got to do is set up a mobile cooking station in the sun right here at the State House every Thursday and announce that for 1 hour during the
Wow.
podcast, you should be here cooking up a
prepare.
dish. So every
Great.
podcast, you come up with a different dish, you cook it up, and everybody eats it.
Yeah, Wayne.
Listen up, Wayne.
Yeah, Wayne.
Wayne.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you,
I
Wayne?
should have a TV
Wayne,
Why haven't you
show.
done this yet, Wayne?
Tell him, Wayne.
Come on, Wayne.
Where the
Get us
fuck
together.
is Wayne?
All right.
Oh, Chris, before you leave, if you can leave, what do you feel about gamma radiated cannabis?
I thought I was gonna say gonorrhea. I was like, don't go there.
How do you
man.
get gonorrhea?
Are you
from
boofing it? How are you using it?
Why are they gamma radiating our cannabis?
Who?
Aliens?
Dispensaries. No, the dispensaries. That's they
Wait,
They-
what?
for,
Are you for
That's
real?
an expensive process.
I
mean,
know it is. I know. Not
Have
New
you been
Jersey.
listening to Alex Jones?
It's scary.
What's the
Scary
purpose
stuff.
of that?
Alex
Did Alex
Jones.
Jones-
For parasites.
Is that his name?
Germ.
Dude, we
bugs.
should start naming. You know what the?
I bet
you
you we
what the
get
problem
Alex
is.
Jones
We
on
haven't
here.
we haven't evolved the names that people use for marijuana, because you know that most of these strain names are just made up anyway. When people get them, it's like a pillow pound that just like rolled in. You're like, oh yeah, that's blueberry, strawberry, Kush OG, man, for sure. But like, we need to modernize the names.
Kush-o-matic.
You got to come up with stuff that's like gritty Kush, you know, after the gritty guy in Philly. You got to have stuff that's like seriously like
White old man OG.
Boehner's Tears. Boehner's Tears. That,
White privilege.
yeah.
White privilege
Oh
Kush.
my God. Jesus Christ. Oh my
I
God.
want to smoke some of that white privilege.
Oh my God.
Give me
Wayne,
some of that white privilege.
Wayne, that's you all day.
That
All
white
you do
privilege
is
is
smoke white
expensive.
privilege. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Wow is right.
Wayne,
This is I ain't
right up
smoking
in, you know,
white
that's why
fire.
these moments,
This
like
is
right,
white privilege I'm smoking. I love it.
It gets to these
Fuego.
moments where
I'm
all of a
sorry.
sudden everything was cool until Wayne
Little
found his
WP.
white privilege. So
Yeah. I remember when Barini's used to sell sandwiches.
now
all
they just sell
sell
white
is
privilege.
weed.
Yeah, they just sell white privilege on a fucking bun is what they sell.
and they buy it.
Yeah, Chris Christie buys it.
Yeah.
Can you please
It's a
snap a
little
picture
salty,
of Chris
but I'll take
Christie
a
buying a
dozen.
white privilege sandwich at Wayne Barini's Cannabis Cafe, please?
Oh shit!
Because that's
Infused
what makes the
coffee. We
state
had
what it
infused
is.
coffee.
It's all the goddamn white privilege sandwiches, you guys.
What would a white privilege sandwich consist of?
I'm going to give me a white privilege knuckle sandwich.
No.
Whoa,
Hey.
whoa, hey.
They
We're
heard white
just smoking
privilege.
cannabis. There's no fire.
It's just us.
It's just us
Just,
again.
keep going.
Wow, for a minute I thought it was the police.
Colleen, you ready? Do some jumping jacks maybe? And
Come on, break your
Yo.
water for us.
thanks, brother. Sure you wanna have a baby?
Micro permits.
Did you just say break your water for us?
Yeah, come on, break your water for us.
Break it. Break it.
break
just like-
water. You know,
just
break
a
water.
little
That just hit me.
Break water for us.
Does it work that way?
I think I'm gonna go try to get my water to break at the joint since Phil Murphy's out of town right now. But I'll be back every week.
Every week
Until
you
my
must
water
give
breaks.
birth on a Thursday.
Give us 10 jumping jacks right now. Come on, give us 10.
I don't know. Should I, Dr. Goldstein? Should I be doing jumping jacks out here?
Dr.
Just give
Goldstein.
us 10. Just 10. All right, 8. Give us 8.
Not in
Eight
front of the
jumping
airbag.
jacks.
Don't jump, guy. It's not worth it. No jumping off the roof up
Oh
there.
my God, there's a guy up on the roof. He's
Sir,
on the
we'll
You're
give-
teasing
there
us.
really is.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
There really is.
Don't
There's
do
a
it.
guy up there.
No
Hey.
jumping.
Oh my
Get
God.
over here.
Come
taking
on.
a picture, you bum.
Come back so we can take a picture.
No, not you, Terrence. I was talking about
We'll
the
give you a
roof.
joint if you don't jump.
Just use the stairs to get it.
Huh?
Yeah.
Hey, you want some
Joint of
oregano?
Who smokes oregano? Ugh.
So Chris just leaves us?
Yeah, that was good. Well, he's eating one of your sandwiches. It's your fault. I love when Chris Goldstein comes on the show because we actually talk about
Well,
cannabis.
I
And
wanted to-
Yeah.
but he just talks and leaves, though, man. I wanted to talk about,
what do you have? You have something to ask him?
well, if you read the bill, there is no micro permits in there.
Oh,
But-
yeah. Is there home grow in this bill, Chris, or not? No, there's
I
no
don't know.
home
This
grow in
is-
this bill. So
Can I go over the glossary real quick?
that's the wrong bill.
I'm gonna give you the term license. Okay, license
It's a
means
it's
a
mind
person. Will
warping.
you shut the fuck up before I shut your goddamn mic?
That wasn't me.
It's you,
Wayne,
man. It's not
Wayne,
him.
seriously.
Now he's
Don't
gonna
read the definitions of the bill. It's okay. People can go online. Aren't you going to post it to your social media?
no, because I think
Don't
this
you
is
have-
good.
Don't you have like a super cannabis king like legislative feed?
Oh boy.
You set them off now.
Okay. I'll see you guys later. No, I ain't mad. I gotta see Colin.
Wow. Mic drop.
Mic drop. Walk away.
You can go anywhere, man.
Chris, why'd you walk
Probably
away
using
from the
the
show,
bathroom.
Chris? Why'd you walk away?
I'm out. It's kind of how that went down.
Oh man.
It was a reenactment.
Well, he got distracted by Barini old world
right.
style sandwiches. Well, just saying.
There's not much in the bill, Wayne.
Oh, no, I'm looking for Colleen's phone number.
No, Chris with his mouth full is better than most people with their mouth empty. I'm just saying.
You shouldn't repeat the things Jay says.
Oh, there she is. Yo.
We should call Jay Lassiter, but my phones are down. I have nothing. I got
Wayne
nothing.
Barini thinks that an 8-month pregnant lady in a green hat with a joint in her hand is hard to spot next to him. I just want to point that out. He couldn't find her. She was standing right.
Where'd she go? Where'd you go?
Dude, I'll tell you, pregnant ladies, they're amazing at just like that instant camouflage thing. So cool.
I am so jazzed.
Ask any
Colleen's
question
gonna
you
be
want
on.
about marijuana. Ready? Go ahead. Go.
Go ahead, Rich.
Hey, I wasn't expecting that. I mean, if you were talking about something else, maybe. Well, that's right. We're supposed to talk about cannabis.
I mean, I'll talk about fishing.
Let me
It's a
ask
full
you:
moon today.
have you ever broached this subject with any of these people? Why do people who have chronic illnesses have to be extorted every 3 or 4 months to prove that they have an illness that is proven by the American Medical Association to kill you? It never goes away, and you don't get better. Why do I have to keep paying them?
What do you mean?
To get, for example, I have multiple sclerosis. Why do I have to keep going back to the doctor every 3 months to prove to him that I still have multiple sclerosis? It's like,
you don't.
Well,
which doctor do you go to?
That's things. We'll talk about that off the air.
Okay. I just want you to know that doctors in New Jersey have no requirement to put you on a recertification plan, that they can certify you for medical cannabis for an entire year. And there's no reason that you need to go back and pay for it.
Why do I have to go back yearly? It's like, it doesn't go away yearly. It's a progressive illness that inevitably kills you.
These things I don't disagree with.
I'm not putting it on you. I'm just pointing out the lunacy of it.
to maintain a doctor or patient relationship. You have to see your doctor.
I mean, I'll be straight with
That's
you.
part
Wayne.
of it.
Or I'm sorry, I would be straight with you, Rich, is that I don't think that people should have to register the way that they do for medical cannabis.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't think
Totally
that
agree.
the scheme that Chris Christie created 8 years ago here in New Jersey is one that should have been modeled by other states, and it was. So we were the first state. New Jersey was the first state to require a doctor to get you into the program. It used to be that you went to a doctor and you got a letter and you got yourself into the program. You registered yourself with the Departments of Health. That's why in Michigan today, there's 200,000 registered medical marijuana patients because they registered themselves with the Department of Health with a doctor's letter. Now, in New Jersey, this was the first place that made you go to certain doctors who are certified by the program. You couldn't go to all the doctors. Any doctor couldn't write your recommendation. In Michigan, any doctor can. Now, that's changed in New Jersey, too. You don't have to get it except for once a year. You can go to any doctor in New Jersey, but they still require doctors to be part of their registry. And that is the bottleneck to all that. And it allows the few doctors who run a public register medical marijuana with us, kind of a clinic scheme, to really hone in on patients' wallets and pocketbooks and get them again and again 3 or 4 times a year for research.
Why do we have to carry around cards with our picture on it and a number that they could look up and see what we buy, how much of it we buy, who recommends that we buy this, where we go to buy it? How is that even remotely fair?
Well, part of this is to implement this plan for your porn feed as well, Rich. So eventually
Pornhub.
you will have to have a pornography license to watch porn online, and all of your porn feed will be
there.
publicly available to the police. So I think that...
Well, isn't it already?
I think for people like you, maybe it's a good idea, but I don't know about the rest of us. Because I know that you're into that whole Sesame Street thing. So we're going to...
Hold on, we got a question there. Hello, you're on the air. Hello, you're on the air. Who is this?
Is this Sativa Cross?
Yes, this is Sativa Cross.
This is Alex Jones. I'm sitting here with Governor Chris Christie eating a chicken salad sandwich from Barini's, and he tells me about you fools outside his office every day for 3 years. Silly. You know what you know? There are pedophiles. You're arguing about cannabis. There's interdimensional pedophiles out there.
It almost sounds like Alex Jones.
Wow.
He did that really good. Would he come out and do that?
Wait, is this really Alex Jones?
Alex Jones has another call, Lefty. I think Twitter's calling him about his account again. Mark Zuckerberg is calling Alex Jones here on the Sativa Cross podcast. So let's talk about business models. You guys buy marijuana from the dispensaries, right? Do you?
Am I officially on record? Yeah.
Yeah, you buy marijuana from dispensaries.
Sure.
In New Jersey.
Yes. Every week, every month I get a quarter ounce.
Do they seem like they're doing like hot business? Like, do they ever seem like they're doing hot business?
Lately, a little bit better.
Yeah? I mean, are they like line out the door kind of a thing?
Sometimes.
Really?
Really? It's getting there.
What are the average prices? Like, what's the average? How much do you spend when you usually go to a dispensary? How much do you spend? Like, when you walk out, like, how much have you spent out of pocket?
I've spent in one trip, $800.
Is that average? Is that average?
If I were to max out every month.
Max out
2 ounces.
Okay. Are there any other medications that you pay for out of pocket like that much each month?
No.
Okay.
No, I stopped taking all my meds because of cannabis.
Before that, were there any medications that cost you that much?
No.
Is there anything else that costs you $800 a month other than your like rent? Or...
No.
Okay.
No.
I mean,
No.
gambling habits.
Nope.
You know? All right.
Negative.
Call girls.
Nope. Negative.
Pizza.
Neg-
Barini's world famous.
Yeah, right.
Chicken salad. How about you, Lefty? I mean, how much would you say is your average monthly
But wait,
out of pocket
but
on cannabis?
I'm one of two in my household.
2 patients.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
Who's the other patient?
My partner. My
Your
girlfriend.
partner. So wow. So you're both spending $800 a month. You're spending $1,600 a month to keep
if we
yourselves
were-
alive on cannabis.
If we were to max out every month, yes.
Wow. I mean, would you say that that amount covers what you need every month?
No.
Okay. So you're spending more.
That's half the amount.
Okay. So I mean, this is what I'm trying to get to. Okay.
We need home grow. I just want to grow my own medicine.
Okay, that too, 100%. I mean, that really does help offset the cost. It's an absolute economic reality and compassion for today's healthcare. Absolutely agree. But also too, there should be a fair price for medical cannabis, just like there's a fair price for other medications. We regulate the price of all kinds of drugs. Sure. And when they get too high, we yell and scream and complain and regulate it down. So when EpiPens and HIV medication became too expensive, and also showed us a picture into the pharmaceutical marketing model where they're raising the price on all kinds of drugs, we need to keep an eye on that happening for marijuana at the dispensaries, especially in New Jersey. So my point was this: the 6 dispensaries, some of them have been operating fairly consistently for 5 years now. 2013 was really when they first started opening. So they've had 5 years of operation. They've had tens of thousands of registered patients. Still, I mean, they were complaining about really not turning a profit. And I believe that. I don't believe that these are profitable businesses with the low amount of sales, and even with the high prices that you're paying.
Right.
So
they have to get over the hump.
Well,
and once production is bumped way up, they'll be extremely profitable if prices stay where they are.
But they can't. So that's my point, is that for the last 5 years, they have charged patients the absolute maximum.
Absolutely.
For no reason. Now, these businesses in New Jersey were structured as nonprofits. They didn't have to charge all of you the cost of the building and the rent and everything else. They didn't have to recoup their costs the same way a real business does. So they already got it wrong from the get-go. But moreover, they set a bad model where everybody pays too much. In Pennsylvania, they're for-profit businesses, and prices over there are even higher, really, for a lot of this stuff. What's the average price for a gram of flour here in New Jersey that you pay for?
You can't even buy a gram. You got to buy an eighth.
Average price of the eighth then?
55, 50?
55. So, that's breaking down into 15 a gram, about 12 to 15 a gram, right?
Somewhere around there.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit more expensive.
Yeah.
18 a gram 18. Almost. Yeah. 15, 18 a gram.
54.
So that's a lot. These businesses, there were
but wait.
Okay.
The quality of the medicine that you're paying for from that astronomical price is like
check.
It's abhorrent.
You don't like the quality. So why do you keep spending? My question is, if you don't like the quality, why do you keep spending $800 a month?
I didn't say I spent $800 a month. I said if I maxed out my
out,
which I need to, at a dispensary, at the cheapest dispensary, I would spend $800 a month.
Yeah, how much do you actually spend though? I mean, I don't want to dive too deep, but I'm trying to figure out how much people what I'm trying to get at is
what I can afford right now at the dispensary is about $100 a month, $200 a month.
All right, copy that. So what I'm trying to get, I mean, in Pennsylvania, I have a group of about 24 patients, and they snap me pictures of the labels of the things that they buy, and they tell me how much it was. And they go about every 2 weeks. So they're telling me how much they spend at each visit. Wow. And I'm pointing out, I'm seeing them spend about $1,000 a month. Yep. That's about how much they're spending a month.
How's the quality over there, though?
They are reporting that the quality is legal, which is the only measure of quality. You know what I mean? Compared to the underground market. So I mean, yes, you can nitpick, but you can't smell stuff before you buy it.
Right.
It's really oil based. A lot of the stuff is vape pen cartridges and oils and
a lot of waxes, and
shatter and wax
concentrates.
and stuff. Yeah, and pre-made products.
Right.
So, in fact, because you're not supposed to be able to smoke the flower in Pennsylvania, even though they sell it, they're making pre-made vaporizer cups like K cups
that are sealed.
Yes,
They do that in Florida.
Yeah, they're doing it in Pennsylvania now, and then you have to get the machine that runs them from the dispensary.
It's proprietary.
And each of the dispensaries will have a different machine,
Of course.
and different kinds of cups. So,
I'm going to make a universal one for all of them.
this is becoming. I don't like how they're treating medical marijuana patients. Medical marijuana patients are being used as an advanced marketing experiment for the cannabis industry, and that's not how we're supposed to treat you.
Right.
So, and that's not what the laws are supposed to have done. So the cannabis industry and legislators and regulators have been using all of you as guinea pigs in the great marketing experiment for what the future of marijuana could mean. And you're all paying for that to happen, even though you don't have to.
Oh, we sure are.
So how do we flip the script in New Jersey? If they're going to create a public bank for marijuana, that means they'll have to have a public bank of deposits, which you can then loan out, just like a regular bank, right? Can't keep your attention. Not with those glasses on.
Go on.
One of the big barriers to access to the cannabis industry is that you can't get a loan to run your business. But think about it like this. If we had a public bank in New Jersey that was largely to serve the sports betting and cannabis industries here in the casino industry, it could get liquidated with a lot of cash right away. Billions of dollars of cash could get liquidated right away to this bank. And then that bank could do things that regular banks don't, like offer small business loans to the cannabis industry and maybe even create a subsidized health insurance scheme to get free cannabis access to low-income patients. That would be something the public bank could get capitalized to do. So that's what we could do with a public bank for betting and marijuana here in the state. And I think it's something that could be a real possibility for everybody. But it also sets up a real target for the feds, because all of the betting and marijuana money will be in one place.
Yep.
So if the feds want to have a grand old day shutting down the entire marijuana industry of New Jersey, all they'd have to do is go raid the bank. So, it does set up an interesting game of chicken with the federal government, but I think that it's an inevitable game of chicken that a state is going to have to try. New Jersey, New York, California, these are the only states that have viable systems to create a public bank. And coincidentally, they also want to get into the marijuana industry pretty hard, California especially. So if we don't do it first, California probably will, and we'll do it second. But I think that'll be the near future for this, if America survives through the next election.
Yeah.
I heard credit unions are going to be the answer to that.
Credit unions need a federal charter. So until federal law changes, credit unions can't really give out loans the way a real bank can. They could do commerce, which means they could do deposits and stuff, but and they can try. But so far, the only credit union that has been accredited for the cannabis industry is to take accounts and deposits for businesses that don't touch the plant. So it's a cannabis industry bank for people who make the labels and the websites, but for no dispensaries or growers can use that credit union. So again, that's why California or New Jersey are going to have to innovate with a public bank, a state bank. Marijuana you have to think of marijuana regulations as happening in the fish bowls, right? Each state has its own fish bowl, and the regulations only exist within that fish bowl for marijuana. They don't interact, and you don't interact with the federal law. And banking is like that. Unfortunately, as the marijuana economies pop up, they're growing in fish bowls, and you're going to have to create a bank in the fish bowl to make it happen. So we need a public bank here.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
Any other finance questions? Oh, and why these 6 dispensaries are operating more like a cartel and Ponzi scheme rather than an actual healthcare system. But, go ahead.
Yeah, we know that game.
Well, I mean, if they're not making money selling marijuana to you guys, how are they making money, right? they're in business to be in business. They're in business to collect investment capital and pay off their old investors and then sell themselves off to a bigger company. And, you know, that is like American business. I mean, certainly there's a model for that in corporate world, but that's not what our compassionate use marijuana system is supposed to be. It's not supposed to be an incubator for corporate experiments. It's supposed to be a system to bring low-cost cannabis to the population of New Jersey.
Well, it's not low cost.
I know. Well, it's only $500 a pound to grow. You know that. I mean, no,
Don't-
I mean,
don't
by
remind me.
these guys, these operators grow marijuana for $1 a gram after it's quote unquote lab tested for whatever that's worth here so far. But $1 a gram is what they produce it for. And then they up it to 18 a gram to you. That price margin is atrocious and disgusting.
Gross.
Yeah. And it's
gross.
unfair.
Yep.
Chris, getting back to gamma irradiation, I don't know if you know much about this, but they use it in Canada and the Netherlands. And they use it on food. They've been using it on food for years to...
dude, seriously, I don't care about gamma radiation.
This is what they're doing to your cannabis.
I don't know.
It affects your terps.
Oh, dude, your terps.
Yeah.
God. Most people are just putting fucking essential oil in their hash wax. You know what I mean? Come on.
It's affecting your cannabinoids, your moisture.
Do you know what's affecting my cannabinoids? I have prohibition induced anxiety. All right. And smoking marijuana in public is the only thing that really helps that. So I appreciate you helping with my prohibition induced anxiety today.
Do you have a cannabis card?
Cannabis card?
Yeah, you know, one of those government issued get out of jail free cards.
I'm not going to answer that question because I think it's not a cool question to ask people.
Nice.
I'm serious.
Good question. Good answer.
I keep my medical information private. So if I had a cannabis card, I wouldn't answer your question. Just like Cory Booker doesn't answer if he's gay. So, you know, he doesn't. And I appreciate that because it's his private life. So I think that one of the reasons medical marijuana patients don't join the program is because they think everybody has to be like you, Lefty, is that once they join, they think they have to tell everybody that they're a marijuana patient, wear their card in a fishing license holder on their forehead, and join a podcast at the State House to smoke their weed.
We have lanyards.
So, but they don't. I want everybody to know that if you become a medical marijuana patient, you should probably keep it private, just as private as you keep every other medical aspect of your life. You don't have any obligation to tell anybody. You don't have to tell your employer. You don't have to tell your family. You don't have to tell your friends. You don't have to tell your landlord. You don't have to tell anybody. It's your medical choice, and it's protected in that regard for your privacy. So you don't have to tell anybody. And if anybody asks, like Lefty just did, you give the answer I did, which is that I keep my medical care private.
So really, you got a card or not?
See? You know what? It's people like you that just want to... You missed your calling as a cop. If marijuana were legal in America, you'd be a police officer. 100%.
Thank you, sir.
So would you, Colleen. You'd be a police officer. You two would be the police if marijuana
I was
were
waiting
legal.
for that.
You know that? You two would be here. You'd be running the security at the State House, yelling at me for something else.
I couldn't yell at you.
I would like to go in for a little while and backseat drive the security.
Marijuana is the one thing that kept people like you from being police officers. So many of you,
Yes,
really.
it's true.
I mean, it's the only
It's true.
thing that kept you from being a cop, Lefty.
I would have been a great cop.
Marijuana.
Busting some heads.
Busting some heads. That's what you want to do?
No, kidding.
You don't want to be the nice cop?
I'm a compassionate cop.
Yeah?
I like compassionate cops. Oath keepers. Truth seekers. There's a few of them out there.
Do you
Did
remember
just
that?
say oath keepers?
Oath keepers. Yes, there are oath keepers, Chris. There are.
I
Some
think
of them.
you're using that word wrong.
Some of them are.
Do you remember that one
That word applies to another
meeting
group.
that we did where there was the municipal cops being sworn in, and we got to see the swearing in ceremony of the police
They take an oath, and a lot of them don't
in
keep
front
that
of the
oath.
town. They take this whole oath, and it's really a beautiful moment to watch these cops taking this oath because they're young and they take it seriously,
They should.
and they haven't been jaded by their professional politics yet.
Colleen, it's not like they haven't seen The Wire. You know what I mean? It's not like they've never watched Bad Lieutenant.
I've never seen The Wire, so the reference is lost.
You didn't need to see The Wire. You lived The Wire.
Oh,
We hang out. As long as we hang out with Neil Franklin, we've lived The Wire. So Neil's going to be in Harrisburg, actually.
He's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, he's
I'd
going
like
to
to
be
see
in.
Neil in Harrisburg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You ready to get rolling? By the way,
Yeah.
Do we have to get rolling?
Yeah, we can go.
Neil
All right.
Patrick Harris.
We'll go do some measurements.
Yeah, we're going to go measure Weedman's shop.
Nice.
We're hoping that it's 420 centimeters from the front door to the back.
We'll see you over there.
Later.
Thank you, Chris Goldstein, Colleen Begley. Couple of jumping jacks before you go.
And Katrina.
Yeah, she's doing jumping jack. Oh my
All
God!
right, look at her
Oh my
go.
God. Did anything fall
Lefty.
out? Anything dripping? Is
Oh,
anything
come on. Not even a little square.
Anything? Is there a wet spot? Nothing.
Oh, come on.
Damn it.
All right, we'll have to wait till
All right,
next
we'll
week.
try again next week to induce her pregnancy.
This time, Colleen, you're doing squats the next time.
Dude, she actually did like 5 jumping jacks. I don't know if you could see on camera. That was great. Thank you. We're offline. I think we're offline anyway. Really? Are we seriously offline on Facebook? No, I think we're still on, but we're going to get knocked off any second now. All right, let me give Honeybee a call. I want to thank CMMNJ, SativaCross.com, MagicalButter.com, NewJerseyWeedman.com, UFCW Local 152, DavidVersusAutism.org, Medical-Freedom.com, New Jersey Grannies for Grass, JacksonStorms.com, Arlo Glass, OprahMachine.com, Pure Puff, Vapor Supply. Messed that one up. Sativa Cross West. And we have a problem with our phones. So we're going to do this the old-fashioned way. Our list begins with Cheryl Miller. She used to come here to the State House. Sabina Rose. Diane Ripatella. Gracie. Cindy May. Marie. Jack. Joan Ford. Randy Robertson. Randy Robertson had the Whipple procedure done to him. You know what the Whipple procedure is? That's when they rip out all your intestines, all your organs, and all your guts. And then they put something back for you. He still died, though. He couldn't get oil from Pennsylvania. Polly Connolly, Bill Buckman. Chad had brain cancer. Jeremy was a victim of the drug war. Colette is Jeff's mom. She died from multiple sclerosis. Matt, Troy from pancreatic cancer. Russ Perry from cancer. Roger Barber. Jay Arletto, who I mentioned the other day, went to North Plainfield. And I told the council that Jay died a couple of miles away and that he couldn't get cannabis. It was easier for him to go down and get a dime bag of heroin for $10 than it was to get in this program, which is overpriced and just crap. Ella Bagelman. She used to come here. Patty Koshel. Jackie Rickard. Anthony. Jake. Armando. Felicia. Lynn. Dan. Marine vet. Sean McKay. From suicide. 22 vets a day kill themselves. And that's what's shocking to me is when a town bans the medicine. How do these towns, like Palpar, how do they ban the medicine for sick children? You're a sick child living in Palisades Park, but they took away your medicine. And if you're in a wheelchair, you can't do anything in Palisades Park. Go on Google and look at Palisades Park. Look at the maps on there. It's shocking. If you're in a wheelchair, you have no access in Palpar. It's a beautiful town. Palpar is beautiful unless you're in a wheelchair. What's up, Ghost? Hey, man. Good to see you. He was. Yeah, so Palpar. Beautiful town. Unless you're in a wheelchair. Then it's ugly. Then Palpar is very ugly because you just sit out in the street looking up the steps that you can't go in. And they'll tell you, oh, we'll carry you up the stairs. Well, what do you leave your wheelchair outside? Your $5,000 wheelchair? You just leave it outside in the rain or whatever, really? There's no compassion in Palpar. They don't give a fuck in Palpar. So we'll be back in Palpar next month. We're going to do a wheelchair video there, and we're going to confront these people that would ban the medicine of sick children, who would ban the medicine of disabled war vets, who's banning the medicine of sick people, dying people that need love and compassion. And what does Palpar give them? Nothing. No wheelchair access, no nothing. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting, Palpar. Beautiful town, but it's ugly if you're in a wheelchair. Lori McBride. Joyce Fortini from Cancer. Frank. And the last name on our list is Honeybee's son, Michael Dillon. Michael Dillon had drop seizures. And one day he had a drop seizure and he fell down and he hit his head and he never woke up. And he was young. He was like 25, 26. He's just a young kid, man. So if Honeybee would answer, she would be telling you to give a tithing to somebody who needs it. Give 10% of your huge grow in your closet. Give that 10% to someone who needs it. Go give 10% of your time. Go visit Joe Marie in Brick. Seriously, go visit Joe Marie Castellano in Brick and go hang out with her, spend some time with her. She's got multiple sclerosis. She can't move her arms really. She can't really do much. People steal from her at the nursing home. How do you steal from somebody who has multiple sclerosis? I don't get that. But yeah, they're stealing from her. So you can't leave her any cannabis, but you can certainly smoke her up. She'll appreciate that. She's at Complete Care in Brick. Her name is Joanne Castellano. Just go and introduce yourself to her. Say, hi, I'm here, and I'm your new friend. Let's go outside. Let's take a walk. Look at this, a blunt. Woo! We got to do what we can for the people that are suffering out there because, you'd want them to do that for you. So at least what we can do is show other people that there is compassion out there. There is hope out there. You think we're hopeless in Jersey? We're not hopeless. We're fucked in New Jersey. You were definitely fucked, but we're not hopeless. Hashtag they shall grow. It's written in stone at the Veterans Memorial down the street. Hashtag they shall grow. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them.